Et bon retour à Saint-Quentin en Yvelines, c'est le CrossFit French Throwdown 2019. On vous accueille pour cette troisième et dernière journée de compétition. C'est triste pour vous si vous n'êtes pas là, mais on est là un petit peu pour vous amuser. Moi c'est Eli, vous me connaissez sur le terrain, j'ai Rory McCarnan qui est avec moi et à mes côtés j'ai Rob Orlando himself, l'un des mecs qui m'a inspiré au début lorsque j'ai commencé à m'entraîner. Parlons un petit peu de ce qui nous attend. Let's speak about what is the situation right now for the elite teams and individuals during that competition.
Well, what we're looking at right now is CrossFit Mayhem Independence with a commanding lead. They've got a 38-point lead over Invictus Boston. And then far behind, almost 150 points behind, is Team Ramwad Meat Squad. So they're in dire straits right now. But right now, it looks like Mayhem Independence is on the verge of running away with it.
Et oui, hein, c'est ça la bataille qui nous intéresse chez les Elite Teams. C'est le ticket, l'invitation pour les CrossFit Games. Ça a été très disputé. Vite, c'était en tête ce matin. CrossFit Mayhem Indépendance vient de leur passer devant. Ils ont maintenant une avance de 40 points sur Invictus Boston. Et regardez bien ces deux équipes. Elles ont plus de 100 points d'avance sur la numéro 3, le Team Ramwad Meat Squad. Donc ça va vraiment se jouer entre ces deux premières équipes d'Américains sur cette compétition et sur donc cette épreuve numéro 8. Et cette épreuve numéro 8, elle va se dérouler aujourd'hui à l'extérieur du vélodrome de Saint-Quentin. On a deux espaces de compétition sous un soleil de plomb. I was saying that competition is going to take place on the outside and then the weather is hot. The sun is already high in the sky and this may or may not impact those athletes.
I'm not sure it's going to have a huge impact. I mean, it's a 6-minute time cap for the males and the females, so they're not going to be out there all that long. It does make it easy to get warmed up. So the mobility is pretty easy to jump right into this thing.
Et oui, puisqu'on en parle maintenant de cet entraînement qui a un cap time de 6 minutes, essayons de creuser un petit peu son format. On va démarrer avec une épreuve qu'on appellera la 8A, car c'est les hommes qui vont démarrer entre eux. Ils vont devoir réaliser chacun 7, puis 6, puis 5, puis 4, puis 3, puis 2, puis 1. Snatch, un arraché à 90 kg, puis immédiatement après, ce sont les filles qui vont se lancer. Les hommes ont 6 minutes pour faire l'ensemble de leurs répétitions. À l'issue de ces 6 minutes, peu importe ce qu'ils en sont, c'est les filles qu'on va lancer. Elles vont suivre le même format. Il y a donc 2 fois 100 points à les récupérer pour ces équipes, 100 pour les garçons, 100 pour les femmes.
And for our elite teams, this is actually a really important event because there's 200 points. It's not just a single event. This is scored as 2 separate events. So your males are 100 points and your female pairing is worth 100 points. We're going to go 7s down to 1. So 7 snatches for each man, then 6, then 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 at 90 kilograms on the bar.
Et on regarde les équipes qui rentrent sur le set. Ils ont fait très très fort ce matin sur la première épreuve à la ligne 8. C'est le team Nova Misfit qui a réussi à emporter l'épreuve. Donc ils sont en forme. I was saying line number 8, Nova 3 Misfit started the day pretty strong. They seem to be in a good shape.
They had a great first event for Event 7 on Sunday. Came out strong. They made a great pass on the wall for the handstand push-ups and came out with 100-point wins. That was a huge win for them.
Et donc les deux équipes nous intéressent respectivement à la 11e et à la 10e ligne. C'est CrossFit Mayhem Indépendance et Invictus Boston, on vous le rappelle. Ça se joue entre ces deux équipes pour récupérer l'invitation à Madison. Regarding to those weights, so like we described like 90 kg for men and 60 kg for women, so roughly like 210 in terms of pounds for the men and 130 pounds for the women.
Yep, it's 198 pounds for our men and it's 135 pounds for our ladies. Just do the math really quick, make sure I'm correct. Yeah, it's 132 pounds for our ladies. So just to give the American viewers some idea of what we're looking at, it's 198 for the men, 132 for the females, 7 down to 1 snatches. And I think anything goes in terms of snatching. So you can squat snatch or power snatch. Am I right on that, Rory?
That's right, guys, and I was actually going to talk to you about the heat. You know, you guys were questioning. I'm out here on the field of play, and it is cooking like you said. I don't think it'll have an effect on the men. The men go right away, but it'll be interesting to see how the women do when they have to stand by and watch the men for the first 6 minutes because there's nowhere to hide out here. A lot of them are taking their name placards and they'll put them over their head to try and hide from the sun, but the women will have to sit out here and bake for a little bit while the men get their work out of the way first.
Et oui, on vous l'a dit, là, le temps, le soleil, il est ultra haut dans le ciel, ça va vous faire de beaux souvenirs alors que les athlètes partent. Ça va pas impacter les athlètes qui bougent, mais ça peut impacter les athlètes qui récupèrent pendant les 6 premières minutes de travail, c'est-à-dire notamment les filles, car elles n'ont absolument nulle part où se cacher. Regarding to those weights, How would you describe that load for those elite athletes?
You know, these are definitely sub-max loads for most of these guys. 198 is not, it's not nowadays in the sport of CrossFit, it's not all that heavy for our men. So I would expect to see most of these guys make pretty short work, especially our elite teams. The guys who are at the top of the leaderboard right now, this is just not going to be that big of a factor. It's going to be more speed/endurance than it is about strength and slow movement.
Gentlemen, I can tell you right now, CrossFit Invictus Boston, both men touch and go through all 7. They are absolutely flying. Craig Kinney now back on the bar for 6. And the only people that look to be keeping any sort of pace with them is the Ramwad Meat Squad with Dex and Christian Harris.
Ok, donc Craig Kinney d'Invictus Boston qui apparemment a fait toutes ses reps sur la série de 7 en touch and go. Il a tout arraché. La seule équipe capable de leur tenir une tête juste à présent, c'est l'équipe de GoWod. Eux, ils sont là aussi pour tenir la cadence.
And then meanwhile, Mayhem Independence, Chase Hill at Rogue Invitational had some difficulty with the snatch, and he is already struggling, my friends.
Et également l'un des partenaires de Mayhem Indépendance qui avait déjà montré quelques signes de faiblesse sur le mouvement de l'arraché lors des Rogue Invitational est en train également de se trouver dans cette même situation. Donc ça, une nouvelle fois, ça peut être le bon plan pour Invictus Boston parce qu'on l'a vu, ils sont très serrés et ils vont se rendre une nouvelle fois coup pour choper l'invitation. Alors qu'au fond de votre écran, c'est Monsieur Pinsol une nouvelle fois avec son joli t-shirt de Happy Hearts qui fait quelques répétitions.
Hey Rob, I'm guessing you can see this from up there, but look at the difference between Chase Hill, who's catching this in not just a squat, but a deep squat. He's only just now passed the baton to Royce Dunn. And then the other gentlemen who are staying up super high in their catch. What does that indicate to you if they're catching it without barely even going towards parallel?
Well, that's what I was just looking at was Royce Dunn. I mean, he's catching it and he's just a couple degrees below, standing. He's basically muscle snatching it straight to the top. And I would imagine Christian Harris is doing the same thing. All that means to me is that they've got so much power and explosion on the bar going up that they don't really need to bend the hip and catch it down below. So if we watch Chase right there, he catches that all the way at the bottom of that squat. So he's having to dive underneath it, use his speed rather than his strength to get underneath that bar.
Et vous allez en voir différentes techniques d'exécution sur l'arraché. Avantage donné aux athlètes ici les plus puissants, ceux qui sont capables de faire un arraché debout, une version en power avec une flexion peu importante. C'est le cas des garçons d'Invictus Boston par exemple. Et ensuite vous avez d'autres athlètes qui ont besoin de passer en flexion complète en dessous de la barre, comme cet athlète à la ligne 7 en short bleu. Et bien ceux-là, ils ont un peu plus d'efforts à fournir. Ils perdent aussi un peu plus de temps entre chaque répétition.
Tova Molokino now the second athlete for Invictus Boston to work on his set of 4. So Invictus Boston working on their round of 4, the second athlete already in play. And Ramwad Meat Squad will now pass the baton off. Actually, they're on their first athlete. So Invictus Boston with the decided lead here. We got Craig Kinney back on the bar, and he's already onto his 3s. They're going to start going faster and faster as the reps decrease. So Invictus Boston running away with this heat.
Okay, apparemment, c'est bien Invictus Boston qui est en train de prendre la tête de cette épreuve.
I don't know if we mentioned it, guys, but this is 2 different 100-point events. So we said that Invictus in the overall standings is doing a good job for themselves, but they can still lose a lot of ground if both the men and the women of Invictus Boston can do exactly what they're doing right now.
Okay, donc on vous rappelle, il y a 200 points à aller chercher sur cette épreuve, c'est super important. 100 points pour les hommes, 100 points pour les femmes, ils sont très rapprochés. Mayhem, Indépendance et Invictus Boston, c'est la raison pour laquelle ils ne peuvent pas se permettre de perdre du terrain.
And there we see Craig Kinney rip the bar off the ground and catching it in that power squat position.
Et on en parlait juste avant, l'arraché debout, beaucoup de vitesse et boum, en 4 minutes 14, c'est plié pour l'équipe de CrossFit Invictus Boston.
So Ramwad Meat Squad made up some ground there, but still Invictus Boston with a first place in the event.
So that's 100 points to Invictus Boston.
C'est une très belle opération ça pour Invictus Boston qui est repassé à la 2e place.
Mayhem Independence, Chase Hill just approaching his round of 4 snatches.
And if you look center screen, there's an athlete with a hat on backwards, black hat backwards with red shorts. Pay attention next time he steps up to the bar. Right now there's an athlete with blue shorts stepping up, and the athlete in red was just hanging out behind him. His reps are so fast where he's going touch and go on all of them. It looks like he's doing it with a PVC pipe. Watch as he steps up to the bar here I don't know if he's going to do more than 2 or so, but I've been watching him from start to finish, and every rep was touch and go, unbroken, and it looked like a PVC pipe in his hands.
You know what's interesting about that, Rob? That is On Point Athletics, and the man you're talking about is actually the strength and depth champion, Bronislaw Olenkowicz, and then Bartek Lipka is the national champion of Poland. So 3 national champions on that one team, actually. They also have the female champion of Poland, and that's Gabriela Migala.
Ok, cette équipe-là qui vient de finir à la ligne 7, cette épreuve On Point Athletics, avec cette dernière rep d'une effarante facilité, et elle est composée de 3 athlètes qui vont se qualifier aux Games. Ok, ce sont des Polonais, les 2 garçons, le champion national de Pologne, le vainqueur de Strength in Depth, et Migala, la représentante polonaise, la national champion de la Pologne. Tous 3 iront à Madison.
Time cap coming up here. And now the women take the field.
Et à nouveau, ça va vite, ça va super vite. Les filles prennent le relais, il n'y a pas de temps à perdre pour enchaîner leur rep. I think now the pressure is on the shoulders of CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, because like Invictus did pretty well on that first part of the competition, or of that event.
To say the least, absolutely. Yeah, Mayhem Independence, their time capped was still what looked like both members having to do the round of 2. That's going to be very, very costly for them, considering that Invictus already picked up 100 points. And now if you get a look at the Invictus women, Meg Reardon, the champion of the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship on the bar, cycling quickly, and Kelsey Keel, the young lady with the pink headband who can just move weight like nobody's business.
Et rendez-vous compte, hein, si on s'intéresse au classement, Invictus vient de faire une très très belle opération. Ils ont remporté les 100 points à la paire de garçons. Dans le même temps, les 2 hommes de chez Mayhem n'ont pas réussi à finir le WOD. Donc là maintenant, la pression, elle repose sur les épaules de Mayhem Indépendance. Ils sont à la ligne numéro 11.
Watching these ladies make their way through the first set of 7 reps each at 60 kgs. That's 132 pounds. Some of them choosing to go touch and go reps, others doing singles and dropping it from the top each time.
À nouveau, différentes stratégies. Certains athlètes veulent se ménager, ils font les répétitions une par une, mais à gauche de votre écran, certains autres font d'autres choix. Ça travaille en touch and go, on enchaîne les répétitions, on prend un peu l'avantage du rebond. I think like it makes sense to try to go like unbroken touch and goes as much as you can. You're gonna get that nice momentum from the floor. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, if you can do the touch and goes, if you're strong enough and you've got the coordination to do it, it makes sense to do some touch and go reps. It jacks your heart rate a little bit, but you can use all the eccentric loading, so all of that energy coming down, you can use to spring back up to the top position.
Donc effectivement, lorsque vous avez la capacité, la force nécessaire pour enchaîner les répétitions, comme cet athlète qui se trouve à gauche de votre écran, qui fait partie des Russian Titans, et bien à partir de là, c'est plus facile pour vous d'enchaîner les répétitions. Look at those girls on the left side of your seat. They're from the team Russian Titans. I mean, like, and we didn't speak that much about them so far, but those girls, they are very, very solid. It's no surprise that they can cycle those reps.
So CrossFit Invictus Boston just barely keeping ahead of Ramwad Meat Squad. Ramwad Meat Squad now into their rounds of 4 snatches.
Le team donc Ramwad Meat Squad dans le tour des 4, on vous rappelle un 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, c'est ça qu'il doit faire en moins de 6 minutes, c'est-à-dire sur un chrono total de 12 minutes, on est à 8 minutes 40 sur le compteur.
And pardon me, Ramwad Meat Squad is actually your current leaders. They're in lane number 6. Both women are wearing black on black. Brooke Haas, 8th place in the world in the open, currently on the barbell. She is working on her round of 4 before they move on to 3, 2, 1.
Et boum, à la ligne numéro 8, hein, c'est bien finalement le team de Ramwad Meat Squad, pardon, ligne numéro 9, qui en tête de cet event. Ce sont toutes de noir vêtues ces filles, dont Brooke Haas qui a terminé dans le top 10 des Open aux US, c'est dire la qualité de cet athlète.
You can see those touch and go reps so clean. Comes down, stays nice and tight, kisses the floor, comes right back to the top. Just flawless execution. There's power and efficiency.
This is going to happen quick, guys. Lane number 6 and lane number 10. Ramwad Meat Squad with a 1 repetition lead over Invictus Boston, and they are not slowing down. Brooke Haas back for 2 reps.
Ok, à la ligne numéro 9, hein, c'est Ramwad Meat Squad qui a 2 reps à enchaîner. Ça enchaîne vite, très très vite.
Invictus pulls back ahead. Meg Reardon's done with 1. Kelsey Keel and Brooke Haas, rep for rep. Bar goes down for Meat Squad, but Invictus has less of a commute. And Invictus at the finish line. What a finish.
Ok, donc ça c'est fini, c'était très très serré entre Mix Squad et Invictus Boston. Solide, très très solide.
Rob, 100 points for both events. If Invictus is credited with a women's win as well, and Mayhem Independence, still working away, what does this mean for the overall leaderboard? Do you think Boston can make that swing that they needed in just 2 events?
You know, it really depends on how much damage was done by Mayhem Independence and not being able to finish for their male pair. It's one of those things that we got to see how many teams squeaked in and how many points slid away from them. But there was only 38 points separating first and second, so 200 points to Invictus Boston is going to be huge for them.
1 minute and 15 seconds left in the time cap. The good news for Mayhem Independence is that the only 2 teams that are finished are the 2 teams we just mentioned, and as I say that, Nova 3 comes across the line. But damage may be mitigated by the fact there's still a lot of teams working. But with less than a minute, Independence is working on their round of 2 apiece. So I believe that Independence can finish this. It just depends on how many people, like you said, come in between them and Invictus Boston's females.
Pour faire comprendre les enjeux de cet event, pour l'instant même Indépendance mène virtuellement par 38 points, mais Invictus Boston a pris 100 points en remportant cette vague-là avec les hommes. Elle prend encore à nouveau 100 points avec les femmes, même Indépendance toujours en train de travailler. Donc maintenant, plus il y a d'équipes qui terminent, il y en a 4 déjà qui ont terminé, plus c'est bon pour Invictus, et je crois que c'est Mayhem Indépendance qui termine à l'instant. Je reconnais Caroline Prévost.
Mayhem Independence across the line. Looks like unofficially that's going to be a 4th place finish. Less bad for the women, but some damage done in the first event of the snatch with the men.
Et là maintenant, classement non officiel, hein, c'est bien premier pour Invictus Boston du côté des femmes, 5e pour Mayhem Freedom. Il va falloir voir si du coup ça va impacter le leaderboard. Il y avait 38 points d'écart. I think that when we were able to see that Mayhem Freedom may have finished like not 4th but maybe 5th, with that difference between the top position and the 5th position, do you think that Invictus Boston is going to be able to make it to the top position?
You know, I don't know. I know that if you take 5th place in an event, you only get 64 points. And right there, we saw Invictus Boston take 200 points. And then it's a question of how many teams slid in the way. I think there's the potential right now for a lead change.
Ok, donc à nouveau, hein, on va voir décidément entre ces 2 équipes. Je vous laisse l'expression un petit peu du jour, ça se rend coup pour coup. On a vu Invictus Boston en tête, même Freedom en tête. Ça ne fait que se chamailler là-dessus. En tout cas, pour eux, c'est bien normal. Il y a de l'enjeu. Cet enjeu, c'est l'invitation pour les CrossFit Games. Vous êtes ici au Vélodrome de Saint-Quentin, en Yvelines, près de Paris. C'est le dernier événement sanctionné, la dernière opportunité pour aller chercher cette place aux CrossFit Games.
All right, I have the team from Invictus Boston here, and Tola, I got to talk to you first. 337 pounds went over your head. You post a lot of stuff about lifting on your Instagram. What's your background? You never competed in Olympic lifting?
No.
Meg, you guys knew what you needed to do in terms of the leaderboard. How do you think this will swing you guys into in the overall standings?
I think this will put us in a really good position. It was really great that it counted in two separate scores. We needed to win both, and we did what we could to get it done. So I'm excited about it.
When it came down to the end, you couldn't see them, but Ramwad Meat Squad was like totally breathing down your neck. You were rep for rep. Were you aware of that?
I kind of tried to look as Meg was going. I was trying to kind of look back, but it's hard to know where people are. And I think the pressure helped us there. Yeah.
Craig, a couple more events left. Where's your confidence level as we approach the end of the competition? One more event, sorry.
Yeah, thank God. No, we needed this. We know we needed this. We knew we could get it. We had to execute, and we did. So hopefully that'll put us in a good spot to hopefully do work tonight or do work this afternoon and make it happen. So.
Great job. Thanks, guys.
Et oui, ils en avaient besoin de ces points, ils étaient précieux pour l'équipe d'Invictus Boston. Ils ont eu l'occasion de montrer toute leur qualité. On a fait du travail en synchro, on a fait du travail en relais. Là, on laisse les paires entre elles s'exprimer. I was saying that just right before we break, programming-wise, we saw synchro movement, we saw relays, and now we see like a format where the pair could really express themselves and show their qualities.
Yeah, it was great to watch them go male-male there and female-female, and they're working together. And what we saw was Invictus Boston just executed their plan perfectly.
Et maintenant, ce qu'on va marquer ensemble, c'est une courte pause, une très courte pause avant de revenir cette fois-ci pour les élites femmes. Si vous êtes français, on retrouvera Sabrina Korone.
Le talent, ça n'existe pas. Ce qui existe, c'est une volonté sans faille. C'est faire aujourd'hui ce que d'autres ne font pas. C'est un choix. Sortir de sa zone de confort chaque jour est un choix. Anéantir chacun de ses points faibles, se battre pour ça, aller au bout de soi-même est un choix. Devenir meilleur chaque jour et réussir est un choix. Plus que de déterminer ce que nous pouvons faire ce choix détermine qui nous sommes au fond de nous. Je suis Willy Georges et j'ai fait ce choix.
Bon tous à vous tous, les acharnés du tableau blanc, les psychopathes de la magnésie, ceux qui aiment rentrer leurs résultats dans les carnets d'entraînement. C'est le 3e jour du CrossFit French Throwdown 2019, la dernière opportunité pour les tout meilleurs athlètes du monde de récupérer le ticket d'entrée pour Madison, Wisconsin. Moi, c'est toujours Eli, on va s'occuper de vous cet après-midi avec notre ami Rory qui est sur le terrain et Rob Orlando à mes côtés. On va assister à l'épreuve numéro 8 des élites en équipe et déjà ce matin la guerre a démarré, c'était fantastique. I was saying that already this morning what we saw on the field for those elite teams was elite individual females, was fantastic.
It was incredible. It was such a good morning. The event number 7 was incredible to watch. Lots and lots of power and explosion. And you can see here in event number 8 for our teams, we're doing snatch. It was a snatch descending ladder from 7 down to 1. The men used 90 kilos, ladies used 60 kilos. And CrossFit Invictus Boston made short work of that workout and came out with 200 points because they were individual scored events. So they got 200 points for that win.
Eh oui, je me suis laissé embarquer par excitation, mais c'est bien nos meilleures élites femmes qu'on va retrouver maintenant. Et déjà, du coup, sur cette 8e épreuve, il s'est passé des choses fantastiques auprès de nos équipes. CrossFit Invictus Boston a récupéré 200 points. Ça va leur faire du bien, ça va leur permettre de reprendre la première place au classement général des équipes. Mais maintenant, ce qui nous intéresse, une nouvelle fois, je vous le dis, c'est les élites femmes. And now if we speak a bit about the leaderboard of those elite women, what jump up on your face?
One of the things that I'm looking at right there is Sabrina Korone tied for 3rd with 576 points. And ironically, I think she's the only one who's fighting for a spot in Madison, Wisconsin. And right now she's got herself in a great position to get to punch a ticket to go. So Sabrina with 576 points, a strong start this morning. And we talked a little bit with her about this upcoming event. She wasn't all that excited about it, but I think she's just going to put her best foot forward.
Eh oui, si on regarde le classement général chez vous, comprenez que ok, Jacqueline Dahlström est en train de remporter la compétition, mais Jacqueline, Carrie, Egg, toutes ces filles-là ont déjà leur ticket d'entrée pour les CrossFit Games. Sabrina Korone, par contre, actuellement 3e ex-aequo avec Egg Gifrado-Tir, elle n'a pas encore son invitation. Le snatch, là, il va falloir qu'elle le réussisse. Elle l'a dit en interview avec Rory, c'est pas son meilleur mouvement. Il va falloir qu'elle exprime le meilleur d'elle-même pour aller chercher cette invitation, parce que derrière elle, c'est notamment Michaela Norman qui va tout faire, elle, pour récupérer des points. So she said before, that's right, that snatch is maybe not her best movement, and behind her we have like Michaela Norman, who did really good on the first event, and I think like this one is not gonna let that shot to go to Madison get out of her reach that easily, or that easy. Et donc là, ce que vous voyez sur le terrain, c'est l'organisation de l'équipement pour cette 8e épreuve des CrossFit French Throwdown 2019, qui va être un ladder de snatch un petit peu pimenté.
So event 8, what we're looking at here for our ladies is going to be 6 calories on the skier, and then one snatch every 75 seconds. And the barbell gets progressively heavier. It's going to start with just 50 kilos on it, which is 115 pounds. And in 10 lifts, it's going to work its way all the way up to 85 kilograms, which is 187 pounds. The athlete has 60 seconds to do 6 calories and then complete the snatch. And then they'll get 15 seconds to rotate to the next station.
Et oui, donc on vous le dit, c'est un ladder pimenté dans le sens où à chaque étape, les athlètes doivent devoir effectuer une répétition. Ici chez les femmes, une répétition d'arraché avec des poids qui vont évoluer entre 50 kg et 85 kg. Mais ils doivent faire un certain nombre de calories sur le skier avant ça. Ils ont une fenêtre de 1 minute pour réaliser les 2 exercices, puis ensuite 15 secondes pour effectuer une rotation et passer à la station suivante. Regardez, les gradins sont pleins et si certains fauteuils sont vides, c'est surtout parce qu'ils sont chauds, très chauds. Le soleil tape très fort aujourd'hui. Notre DJ, il a un chapiteau et une casquette, vous voyez au fond de votre écran, et c'est le seul moyen de se sentir tranquille. Alors, vous voyez à l'écran nos 2 head judges, David Lenouvel, head coach à Reebok CrossFit Louvre. Romain Christopher aussi qui est là avec nous depuis le début. Ça fait 7 ans qu'ils officient avec nous au French Throwdown pour assurer ce travail de judging, ce travail d'arrache-pied.
I see Rory down there in the center of the stage. Rory, what's the temperature down there? Is this going to be a factor at all? Because the athletes are going to be out there for quite a while.
Yeah, Rob, I would put it somewhere between way too hot bathtub and surface of the sun hot. It's getting a little bit cooking. And like I said before, as we get further in the day, these are long days, and the sun is just directly overhead. There's no hiding from it. But if we're being honest, how we've seen them handle the heat throughout the course of the competition, today is the coldest of them all, if we can say that, the coolest of them all. And so I don't think that the heat's necessarily going to play a factor, especially considering that there's going to be a lower heart rate relative to what we've done with GHD, Annie, and things of that nature. It's a lifting event, so I think that I don't think the sun will be as much of a factor as the weight will.
Donc on l'a dit, il fait chaud, mais apparemment c'est quand même la moins chaude de ces 3 journées de compétition. Ça ne devrait pas trop impacter ces athlètes qui vont une nouvelle fois, on vous le rappelle, enchaîner toutes les 75 secondes 6 calories pour ces filles sur le ski erg, et puis ensuite une répétition à l'arraché, 50, 60, 65, 70, 72.5, 75, et ça va comme ça jusqu'à 85 kg. Et la première athlète fait son entrée. Vous avez en face de vous Joe Mcguirk de CrossFit BSK.
This is interesting, guys. One athlete on the field of play. You maybe can't see it from in there, but it's lonely. This young lady out here all by herself, and she'll lead the way. You know, in no time at all, we'll have the whole stadium packed here, or stadium floor packed rather. But at the moment, one athlete on the floor. It's an interesting scene down here.
And you can see that. So we're starting out with the person who's lowest on the grid right now, which is Joe Mcguirk, with 148 points, and she just easily snatches 50 kilograms, and now she can wait before she has to transition, and she'll move up. The next bar for her is going to be 60 kilograms, and our next athlete stepping up onto the platform would be Maddie Harris.
Donc effectivement, pour l'instant, c'est normal si vous n'avez que Joe Mcguirk sous votre écran, car c'est elle qui est en queue de classement. Et au fur et à mesure, les athlètes vont rentrer sur le terrain. La prochaine de ces athlètes à faire son entrée, eh bien, c'est Maddie Harris.
Rob, you know what? I want to change my answer. The answer to your question is that out here on the stadium floor, it's Madison hot.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I was considering it. It feels a lot like Madison, Wisconsin in the middle of the summer. So great practice for the athletes who are going to be out there throwing it down to the CrossFit Games.
You can see the athletes here, that both girls ripping down onto those handles, try to get as many calories, or get the 6 calories finished as fast as possible.
Et si vous regardez cette athlète Maddie Harris, if you have a look at Maddie Harris, black top on the screen, if you check stats, we're going to see that our maximum snatch should be 73 kg, but our ladder goes up to 85 kg. So we're going to see how far she's going to go through that ladder, but more interesting, maybe how close she's going to get to a PR, to see how much the calorie scale is going to impact those athletes. Maddie Harris en noir sur votre écran. Si vous regardez un petit peu ses statistiques à cette athlète, elle est en théorie capable de snatcher un record personnel à 73 kg. C'est intéressant de regarder ces athlètes simplement parce qu'aujourd'hui le ladder va monter jusqu'à 85 kg. Savoir ça, si elle est capable de faire aussi bien que sa répétition max, ça va nous permettre de mieux comprendre comment impacte la partie ski erg par rapport à la partie haltéro, alors que Tina Moglin est en train de rentrer le petit bison sur l'arène. Tina Moglin may also be a pretty interesting athlete to watch, try to understand the stimulus of that workout. That French girl is pretty famous in France for her weightlifting abilities, and I'm curious to see how heavy she's going to go on that ladder.
You see all 3 girls set up, and everybody opting for a power snatch at this point. Nobody's dropping it down into a full squat. That was pretty close. That was about parallel in the catch position. And everybody just doing a pretty good job managing the 6 calories, grab the bar, and try to execute a clean and smooth rep.
Donc pour l'instant, c'est Joe Mcguirk, Maddie Harris, Tina Moglin qui sont sur le terrain. Tina Moglin qui a en théorie un arraché à 80 kg. Elle vient d'effacer cette première barre à 50 kg comme d'un rien. On va suivre le reste de son évolution sur le terrain alors que c'est Ella Wilkinson. Ella Wilkinson now entering the field. Ella, I said that several times during the weekend, but she used to be one of our teams. Let's see how she's going to perform on that event.
So I got to tell you guys, no one looking distressed yet. It looks like still like a stroll in the park. I think this is going to be one of the ones that escalates quickly, as we say. Once we get down towards the second half, maybe around 65 kgs. But in terms of distress and breathing hard, the athletes all look to be handling this pretty well so far.
Et jusqu'à présent, tout se passe bien pour nos athlètes. En effet, les barres sont encore relativement légères par rapport à leur répétition max. On va voir comment ça va se corser, peut-être d'après Rory, lorsqu'on va s'approcher de la barre de 65 kg.
Rob, there's a theme in CrossFit competition, and that is that it's impressive if you're strong, but it's way more impressive if you're strong at a heavy heart rate or under distress. Do you think that this is a good test of that?
Yes and no. I mean, 6 calories is not a lot. It's just enough to kind of get in the way and be annoying. If it was more like 25, 30 seconds of really high output followed by a snatch, I think it would be a completely different test. But 6 calories, if you really lay into this thing, you can be off the machine in 15 seconds or so, and that gives you plenty of time to get yourself organized for that one rep.
Et c'est maintenant Christy Oliver qui vient de rentrer sur le terrain, elle aussi cette athlète de Grande-Bretagne, elle a de la force. Christy Oliver, we love her in Paris, France at the French Throwdown, that woman from the UK. She has an 80 kg snatch. Let's see how close she's going to be able to get to that PB.
Yeah, okay. How many athletes, Rob, do you think have a chance of clearing this thing, if any?
You know, I'm looking at some of the stats, and according to their benchmarks, and I mean, I don't put a whole lot of weight on the listed benchmarks because that's under the best circumstances possible. That's at your home gym when everything's flowing just right, and you've got the right music on, and you know everything's happening just right. This is not that situation. So now you are in day 3. You're going into event number 8. Your body's been beaten up. Some people will rise to the occasion and some will fall apart. So I don't look at the stat and think, all right, well, we should be able to see X number of people hit that number. But I think we'll see a fair bit that will get really close to knocking out that last bar of 85.
Is that universal? What if there are stats from competition? Because I understand that with self-reported stats, you're absolutely right. I like to give myself an extra 15 seconds on Fran anytime I tell somebody about it. But with competition stats, it's a little bit different, yeah? Or do you think that's impossible to replicate also?
I think it's tough to replicate. I mean, I've had competitions where I've hit numbers that I've never hit since or before. And then there are other times where, you know, in practice, messing around, you just have the day of your life. Like you grab the barbell, the first time you touch the barbell, you think, wow, everything feels just right today. So, you know, I don't know that the stats are all that important. I think every athlete is different and every circumstance is different, especially given the fact that it's day 3.
That's right. I've heard before, and I really respect the idea that if it was if stats matter, then it would just be a self-reporting or a goal-setting game. But that's why we run the race, right? Just because you've done a 2-minute Fran in the past doesn't mean you're going to do it today here in competition in the heat in Paris, France.
Et ouais, ça discute vraiment de l'importance des statistiques. On a à notre disposition ici au CrossFit French Throwdown 2019. Effectivement, on dit que les athlètes parfois, notamment sur les statistiques que nous avons qui sont données par les athlètes, ont tendance à s'enlever du temps sur les épreuves. Moi, je doute qu'ils aient tendance à se rajouter du poids sur les barres qui sont annoncées. Au contraire, je pense que peut-être même parfois, parce qu'ils savent que les autres athlètes vont regarder, ils ont peut-être tendance même à en retirer. En tout cas, une athlète qui est rentrée là actuellement sur le floor, c'est Lindsay Solka. Avant elle, Angelica Bankston, elle rentrait elle aussi. Et en théorie, elle annonce un poids maximum à l'arraché de 86 kg. C'est quand même selon moi de bons indicateurs. Même si c'est vrai que c'est pas parce que vous avez fait Fran il y a 3 semaines en moins de 2 minutes que vous serez capable de le faire là maintenant tout de suite, dans le même temps, surtout sous le soleil et avec la fatigue.
You know, Rory, to your point, the girl who just stepped out onto the floor, she was just walked out, was Lindsay Siolka from the firm CrossFit, and I'm looking at her stats right now, and she's got well over a 200-pound snatch. So to me, like, she has the potential. She's 20 pounds plus over what the highest bar is in this. So if anybody is, like, if an athlete can match their stats, she should be able to clear this thing.
You know, I ran into her last night having dinner, as a matter of fact, and she comes from a competitive Olympic lifting background and said just that she was very, very, very excited to get her hands on this barbell. So
Et vous l'avez vu il y a quelques instants à l'écran, Ella Wilkinson qui s'est bagarrée pour en finir avec cette 4e barre à 70 kg. Impressionnant pour cette jeune fille, alors qu'à l'image, c'est Lydia Barto qui arrive sur ce ladder. On verra si elle arrive plus loin. Je propose qu'on essaye de regarder la jeune Ella Wilkinson si c'est possible pour voir s'il va être capable de continuer à monter en poids. Elle avait l'air quand même d'être à la bataille sur la barre à 70. Et la voici qui s'approche. Regardez au niveau du repère numéro 5 sur votre écran. Elle a un bas de short gris, un haut noir. Là actuellement sur votre écran c'est Joe Mcguirk. Pour l'instant dernière au classement général. Chris Oliver sur la droite qui efface cette barre.
A miss finally at 75 kilos. She looks like she'll reset and go for it again.
That actually looked like a good rep. She needs to lock that out, catch it. Yeah, that's a good finish.
Oui, 75 kg d'effacé pour Joe Mcguirk de CrossFit BSK. Alors que Ella Wilkinson nous quitte après son échec à 72 kg 500 et c'est Jessica Vetter qui fait son entrée sur le field.
We have our first athlete who will be exiting the competition floor. I don't have the identity, but she failed on the 65 kilo bar. So none of this is a gimme. You just happen to see some adequate snatchers out here.
Et on la voit s'avancer, Joe Mcguirk, pour l'instant c'est elle qui est le plus loin dans la compétition. Il lui reste, si je ne m'abuse, que 3 barres à effacer. Et vous entendez Greg, notre speaker, encourage cet athlète qui nous vient du Québec, notre speaker. On les adore, nous, nos Québécois.
Crowd coming alive out here.
Et ça passe.
What a great lift. That was her first shot at that lift. It looked amazing. It was rock solid at the bottom, stood it right up. You could see the confidence as she caught that bar.
Et dans le même temps, on voit Tina Moglin qui ne parvient pas à effacer cette barre, qui est une barre pourtant qui ne représente que 65 kg. C'est très loin de son max théorique. And you were saying that stats were not that important, and I think that you were true. I mean, like wearing the red pants in Tina Moglin, she used to snatch roughly around like 80 kg, and now she just failed at that barbell of only 65 kg. Roughly 140 pounds.
Well, our first athlete to take the field, do you guys have her identity?
It's Joe Mcguirk.
Joe Mcguirk is about to try and attempt 85 pounds, or 85 kilos rather. She could be our first to clear the ladder.
First athlete out, first to clear the ladder. And by the way, Rory, her stats indicate that her snatch is 47.5 kilos.
Come on.
Yeah, so she's almost double that right here. So either the stats are wrong or she's literally having the day of her life.
So you're just trying to rub it in my face here.
Et vous la voyez, elle va essayer de la conclure, Joe Mcguirk. Ce ladder, elle va essayer de la finir, cette barre. Elle rigole, pour l'instant elle est tout sourire, il lui reste encore un petit peu de temps pour faire un autre essai. Et non, hélas, pas assez de temps, et c'en est fini pour cette athlète. Elle est arrivée quasiment au bout de ce ladder.
I'll catch up with Joe for you guys. We'll get to the bottom of this, whether these stats were lying or she's having the day of her life.
Et alors que Rory s'installe, on a vu pareil Manon Saint-Maxent, elle a fait très très fort ce matin sur le travail à poids de corps. On va voir si elle est capable de faire la même chose aujourd'hui.
Hey, you said you have a listed snatch PR of 45 kg. Just the day of your life.
My snatch PB is 80 kilograms, so to get it was really good.
Oh, great! So you matched your PR. You almost went above it.
Yeah. With all the cardio.
Good job. How hard was it actually? Like, what did the row, or what did the skiing actually do to your ability to lift?
It raised my heart rate a little bit, but it wasn't awful. It was still able to lift. So.
Donc on lui demandé en quoi ça a impacté sa capacité à tirer sur des grosses barres, ce petit travail cardio au ski erg. Elle a dit bah écoute, ça élève juste un petit peu le cardio, ça ne va pas empêcher de tirer sur ma barre. In French we call that sometimes potentiation. Do you know that word? When you try to be kind of nervously excited before you're about to lift a heavy weight. What is the word that you use in English for that?
Just anticipation and excited nervousness. Like that's the feeling you get that you go out there and you know you've got all that adrenaline flowing and you just want to be able to nail that lift.
Some people like to get angry, right? Some people like to get a little pump-up process. I can't wait to see Lucca Sparkle take the floor. His pre-lifting ritual is second to none.
Et oui, c'est certain que lorsqu'il va rentrer sur le terrain, notre ami Lucca Sparkle, il risque là d'être dans son élément et de faire du dégât. I would be happy to see Lucas shine a bit during this weekend.
Yeah, same thing here. I'd love to see him do well at this one. It's interesting what Joe Mcguirk said, which is the cardio was still manageable, and I think it speaks to how important the numbers are. Because if it was 8 or 9 calories, it would be so much harder. You know, just a shift by 2 or 3 calories would make this thing a completely different event.
Well, and it also illustrates kind of a twist on what you said, Rob, which is, yes, these listed PRs that people submit, or even your PR, that's usually done under the best of conditions. It's done in your home gym, it's done on your terms, you're training when you want to, and to be able to match your personal best when you've done 150 GHD sit-ups, you've done presses, you've done, you know, your body's been beaten to pulp over the last 2 days, is even more impressive.
And it just speaks to how well they're training, that they're still able to come out here day after day and just grind away, and to hit those strength numbers under such stress. It's really impressive that the sport has come that far.
Et effectivement, c'est super impressionnant de voir la qualité de ces athlètes qui, avec la composante cardio, avec l'excitation, avec l'accumulation de la fatigue, sont pour certains et certaines en l'occurrence capables d'arriver proche, voire même très très proche de leur record personnel. C'est dire aussi à quel point on a avancé et fait des progrès grâce à la méthodologie CrossFit en termes de sport et de performance. C'est fini de mettre d'un côté la force, de l'autre côté le cardio. On est capable de tout faire, notamment s'il s'agit de lever un objet vite et bien, comme c'est le cas maintenant à l'écran. Lindsay Siokla sur votre droite, qui se débarrasse de cette barre avec une grande facilité.
Right here we've got 82.5 kilos, just not enough pull on it. That's 181 pounds.
And here she comes, Alison Scudds, one of the female American athlete that we know the most here in France, because she came and compete last year in one of our bigger throwdown. I think I'm pretty sure she was not really where she belongs during that weekend of competition, but still always smiling, always a very positive attitude. And for you, Rob, what would you try to do on that ski? I know it's only a bunch of carbs, but would you try to eat them hard and then try to catch your breath a bit? Or would you try to instead go as slow paced as you can to keep still maybe like 30 to 45 seconds to do the lift?
For the men, it's going to be 8 calories, and my strategy on that would be to give it like 5 or 6 really hard pulls, and then to recover for the next 5 or 6 pulls until the calories tick away. And that would give me the opportunity to walk over, put my hands in the chalk bucket, and organize my thoughts and get myself ready for that lift.
Jusqu'à VTR sur votre écran, 65 kg sur la barre. Siolka, elle vient d'effacer une barre à 75 kg. En termes de stratégie, Rob, du moins pour les garçons, alors qu'Mcguirk fait son entrée, sa stratégie serait de tirer fort, bien fort, peut-être 5 tirages pour faire les 8 cales et avoir le plus de temps possible pour lifter. I think that from a good man that we just see entering the field, that's and this started pretty well. I think that she is at last starting to find her mojo back.
Yeah, I mean, I think she had a good event 7, and now she walks into event 8, and I think this should be a good event for her. She's a strength athlete, and if she can get herself together, this could be one that she could make up some points and disrupt the leaderboard.
And let's celebrate one other thing, Rob. She's been in the game she was competing nearly as long ago as you were, and that longevity in the sport is almost more impressive than finishing first in the event.
80 kg pour Siolka effacé. Et oui, célébrons également le fait qu'il faut être et durer. C'est ce que fait Amanda Goodman en étant encore présente aujourd'hui. Cet event-là, il devrait lui aller. Elle a bien démarré cette 3e journée de compétition. Elle a retrouvé son mojo. On espère qu'elle va casser des bouches pendant cette épreuve.
All right, another athlete going to dance with the 85 kilo bar.
Une nouvelle athlète sur la barre des 85 kg alors que c'est Maddie Edwards qui fait son entrée. And Maddie Edwards now entering the field. I mean, like, she's been pretty impressive on some of those events. I think like she has a strong back. She said that she loves to pull from the floor. I also think that regarding to what we saw on the squat cleans, her technique may not be the best yet. So I'm curious to see how far she's going to be able to go on that event.
Well, if I'm right, it's Lindsay Silka who's going to step up to that 185 bar, and this is it's 20 pounds under her listed PR. Let's see if she can knock out that lift. She's in the bottom left of your screen with a white sports bra, black pants on, stepping up to the bar now, getting herself set.
C'est aussi un bon boulot pour Anna Rode à 65 kg sur le côté droit de votre écran. That was close.
That was close. She might have time if she hustles. She might have time to try another rep. She needs to get both elbows locked out. Stand that bar up.
Okay, and I see that what we've just seen now shows us that the time window that those athletes have doesn't leave any opportunity of missing the rep or doing kind of mistake.
Yeah, if you miss the rep, you basically, you know, if you're gonna miss it, it has to be a decent miss where you can drop the bar right in front of you and give it another try. But if the bar moves out of line and you have to pull it back in, you're gonna be out of time.
Rendez-vous compte, hein, c'est peut-être pas très impressionnant, 6 calories pour ces femmes avant d'attaquer la barre, mais par rapport au temps de travail qu'ils ont, c'est très très court. Rory, you're on the field. I think that Silka, she's been doing really great on that event. How does she feel?
Yeah, first we're going to talk about this 85 kilo lift that we almost missed. How did that go? I know you have a listed PR of what, about 200 pounds?
Yeah, I've snatched 207 before. The skier's a little taxing on the triceps, so the catch was a little tough. I was a little slow on my reach on the catch. Other than that, but catch and Rody was awesome as well. But no, it's been an awesome competition. Can't thank the crowd, the volunteers, the judges, everyone were awesome event.
Tell us your background with Olympic lifting.
I got into CrossFit first, and then found Olympic weightlifting. So I kind of do both in the off season. But I lifted at nationals in May, and I just found another love of my life with Olympic weightlifting through CrossFit. So it's been a really fun journey.
Awesome. That was really fun to watch. Thank you. All right, Ellie, I'm sorry. I stole that away from you. Who do you want me to go check out?
No, that's perfect. I mean, like, it's really cool to hear those athletes giving you some feedback about how they feel on the field. I think it makes the full broadcasting thing more interactive. That's fantastic. So Anna Rode trying to hit that 80 kg bar. 80 kg sur la barre pour Anna Rode sur votre côté gauche. Ensuite, vous la voyez à droite à 70 kg, c'est Sanna Venäläinen qui vient de l'emporter. 70 kg, c'était facile. Et celle-là, c'est l'une de mes chouchous. Regardez-moi ce sourire. L'athlète qui s'entraîne à CrossFit Butcher's Lab, c'est Rebecca Viteson. Elle est venue plusieurs fois au French Throwdown. Elle est aussi fit qu'elle est belle. Et c'est un grand plaisir de la voir entrer sur le terrain pour cela. I was saying that I almost fall in love every time I see that athlete, Rebecca Viteson. That Swedish girl, she came several times at the French Throwdown. She trained in a fantastic gym called Butcher's Lab in Copenhagen. Pretty rough, pretty basic. I mean, like, she's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's great. I think we've got a lady stepping up to that last barbell now.
I think it's Anna Rode that is about to try that attempt on the last bar of that ladder.
Bottom left of your screen, there she is, strapping that belt on. She has a posted PR of 200 pounds. Let's see if she can knock this out. Yes.
And she's the first athlete to win that ladder. C'est la première athlète à compléter ce ladder. C'était a walk in the park, vraiment une promenade pour Anna Rode. On la félicite et on est content de l'avoir brillé dans cette épreuve.
Nailed that lift with conviction. There was no question. Caught it, stabilized at the bottom, stood it up like it was a PVC pipe. That was a great lift.
You guys want to hear from her?
Yes.
That would be great.
Good job, Anna. So that was not your PR, is that correct?
That was not my PR. My PR is 91.
Okay, you don't have to brag about it. I'm kidding. Hey, so how did the ski erg affect you at all?
Not too bad. I was able to keep a pretty slow pace and still be done in under 30 seconds. And until the bars got like 75 kilos, I knew it was really grab and go. So I was able to keep my heart rate down, manage that, and my arms kind of felt warmed up, so it was good.
You've been to the games on a team. How much individual competition experience do you have?
I've been to regionals 4 times individually, so a bit of experience at this point, but it's my first time really internationally, so it's been a really cool experience.
How do you feel about your performance on the weekend?
I'm happy with it. I really came in to have fun. I'm making the switch over to weightlifting mostly, so I really like this event. And I just came out to have fun, really enjoy my time in France.
Oh, it's fun to watch. Thank you.
Et elle a annoncé une répétition max à 91 kg. Anna Roth, c'est fantastique. Elle qui vient de faire la transition de l'haltérophilie vers le CrossFit, définitivement, elle est venue là pour s'amuser. S'amuser, c'est aussi ce qu'a essayé de faire autant que possible Sanna Van Leyen, qui a échoué à la barre à 80 kg, alors que rentre Johanna Julius Dottir sur le terrain. I think that, if I remember properly, Johanna Julius Dottir, she's been able to do really good on the thruster even.
Yeah, she has great levers for a thruster, and she just did really well on that one. I'm looking at her stats right here, and her posted PR for the snatch is 75 kilos, so obviously this is going to be a challenge for her to kind of squeak through the ladder, but you never know. Let's see what happens.
Amy Connett sur votre écran, l'athlète de CrossFit Overlake, sur le point de tenter cette barre à 80 kg. Alors qu'Amanda Goodman sur la droite tente cette barre à 70. Oh, mais ça passe facile pour Amanda Goodman. Et vous les regardez, les gradins ils sont pleins parce que les gens sont venus nous rejoindre au Vélodrome de Saint-Quentin en Yvelines, à proximité de Paris. Vous aussi faites de même, rejoignez-nous, on est encore là toute la journée jusqu'à 18h. Venez voir les tout meilleurs athlètes du monde dans leur croisade pour tenter de décrocher leur sésame pour se rendre à Madison pour les CrossFit Games.
Rob, you've been involved in a ladder or two in your CrossFit Games career. I love nothing more than this format where people are kind of put in the individual spotlight. You get to see exactly where you stand in the competition very visually, and the crowd absolutely just gets so fired up for these kind of events.
It's such a great way to watch an event, and as a participant, same thing, where you're so dialed into what you're doing, but you're able to look around and see where everybody else is. I remember at one of the regionals, it was me and Dave Lipson doing squat clean into thruster, and just being so aware of what was all going on, and the crowd loves it. To me, these ladders are often the most fun events to watch, and as a competitor, they're the most fun to do.
Et en tant que compétiteur, en tant que spectateur, les ladders, la manipulation de charge, ça toujours envoie la sauce, ça va vite, il y a toujours un truc à regarder. Regardez là, Amanda Goodman, c'est une guerrière. Une autre guerrière, celle qui est rentrée sur le terrain, c'est Frida Hagerholm. Elle a cartonné sur l'event avec les thrusters parce qu'elle a fait une 7e place. Elle s'entraîne à CrossFit Arus. Vraiment, si en Europe, il y a 2 gyms que je vous conseille pour leur aspect brut, c'est Arus CrossFit et le Butcher's Lab. Et c'est Christina Hagerbeck que maintenant vous retrouvez sur votre écran. And I got the feeling that at 80 kg bar is really now the separator between like the good athletes and the extremely good athletes.
Yeah, there's always a sweet spot where, 85% will get up to this one bar. And that's really the good measure of a great competition, where you should have, it's like a bell curve. You should have the vast majority finish in the middle somewhere. You should have your outliers, a handful of people that can't do much of it, and then a couple people that can do all of it and do it really well. And the great thing about that is that you end up with the right winners.
Et Violi, si je ne m'abuse, 70 kg à la bagarre, et Amanda Goodman, 80 kg et ça passe. Et comme je l'ai dit un petit peu hier, je me rappelle il y a quelques années, j'étais avec Jessica Sankey, on regardait une épreuve, un ladder auquel elle participait de clean, et là le juge de paix c'est 70 kg. Là on regarde du snatch, il y a du cardio par-dessus, et la véritable séparation c'est une barre à 80 kg. C'est dire vraiment les progrès de nos athlètes ici en Europe sur ces 5 dernières années. Et maintenant, c'est l'Espagnole Elena Caratala Sanaoja qui est sur le terrain, le niveau de CrossFit for Friends.
I couldn't agree more with you, Ellie. Fun to hear multiple athletes now saying that they're using this basically as a gateway into the sport of Olympic weightlifting. Rob, that's a theme across the world. In fact, USA Weightlifting has recognized we've done a tremendous amount for their sport even.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think, you know, CrossFit has done a lot for a lot of sports. The same thing with strongman, and we're about to watch Amanda Goodman take a crack at that last bar.
Dernière barre à 85 kg pour Amanda Goodman. Boum, et c'est effacé.
Just knocked out that lift, no problem. Caught it with conviction, elbows locked, stood it straight up. Made sure that was the last bar, took a little look around.
C'est Rebecca Vitaé qui s'avance dans la barre 70 kg alors que Manon Angonèse, la Belge, a également fait son entrée sur le field. Et bon courage à toi, le requin.
How'd it go?
It went well.
Easier or harder than you thought?
A little easier. I was concerned about the time frame after the ski, honestly, in the later weights, but I was able to keep the ski consistent.
How much further do you think you could have gone?
Maybe like 2 or 3 more bars.
Oh, I like it. I want to set it up when we get back home.
All right, let's go.
Ok, Amanda, on la voit enfin sourire et elle a des jolies dents, Amanda Goodman. Elle qui a dit qu'elle aurait pu encore lever encore 2-3 barres, même si elle était préoccupée par le temps qu'elle a à sa disposition. Vraiment gérer son temps, c'est ça qui fait la différence sur cette épreuve. Once again, she spoke about that time management. You need really to use all your skill, especially coordination, agility, balance, to make sure that you're going to be able to do that rep properly, because it's you get it or not, but you have not that much of time to do several attempts.
Yeah, you just have to manage the whole thing properly, so you don't want to blow yourself out on the ski erg, and you also don't want to patty cake it too much where you're left with no time at all to do your lift. So you've got to find that sweet spot where, you know, all 10 rounds should be a similar ski erg. So you should be 20-25 seconds for most of the girls, and that leaves 35 seconds to do your lift, which really isn't enough for a second attempt, but it's plenty for one.
C'est Louise Wikström maintenant qui fait son entrée. Elle, je l'ai croisée à plusieurs reprises dans les couloirs du Vélodrome. Elle est toujours super gentille, même si là, elle avait une sacrée attitude, très souriante. Elle aussi, on espère la voir aller le plus loin possible.
Rob, if you could roughly translate patty caking it into French, what do you think how would you say that? That sounds like a Robism.
Ellie, how would you translate patty cake? If you don't go hard, how would you say that in French?
On se la coule douce lorsqu'on n'y va pas fort. On se la coule douce.
Okay, see, I needed the translation in English to English. I didn't know.
English to English. Okay, yeah, no, I could give you that one. I think if you're on that ski erg, and I tell people this all the time, one of the subs that we use at Hybrid for double unders is it's not single unders, because that doesn't elicit the same cardiovascular response. We put people on the assault bike as a sub for double unders. And why do we do that? Because it's impossible to patty cake it. So I want you, even though you don't have the skill of double unders, I want you to be able to hop on the bike and get the same cardiovascular response. And then we also enforce a watts minimum. So we tell our males and females, you have to maintain 400 watts for our women and 500 plus for your men. This way, you can't sandbag it.
The tangential benefit of that is that you are so motivated to learn double unders.
Exactly.
That you will only do the assault bike as a sub 2 or 3 times.
Avis à la population du CrossFit hexagonal, si vous êtes head coach et que vous gérez votre programmation, scaling options pour les double unders, si vous êtes chez Hybrid Athletic par Rob Orlando pour attaquer la bonne filière énergétique, la bonne stimulation, et ben il vous remplacera ça par de l'assaut bike 400 watts minimum si vous êtes une femme, 500 si vous êtes un mec. D'une, ça va être dégueulasse, et de deux, ça vous motivera à apprendre à faire les DU foi de Rob. Et regardez à la gauche de votre écran, Rebecca Vitesson, elle a été la chercher cette barre à 80 kg. Ça s'est également bien passé pour la barre à 75 pour Cathy Schnetter. That was a really impressive rep.
That was a really impressive rep. She caught it, stabilized, kind of came unhinged a little bit at the bottom, and as she was standing it up, got a little bit wobbly in the middle, but was able to pull that out. What a great rep.
Ellie, is that one of our local French athletes? She seems like she got a lot of support here in the stadium.
No, she's not one of our French athletes. She's just like so beautiful and cute, always in a good mood, always smiling. That she's been there several years and she really has won the crowd.
And if you're looking at the bottom left of your screen with the green pants and the black sports bra, she is hammering that skier to try to give herself as much time as possible on that barbell.
Et elle le démonte, le skieur Rebecca, pour avoir le plus de temps possible pour récupérer et se placer pour faire cette barre. Cette barre, il va falloir qu'elle aille la chercher, ça va lui coûter cher. Cathy Schletter, un échec à 80. Allez Becca. Et si vous vous entraînez, vous la connaissez cette sensation lorsque vous réussissez une bonne rep et que tout d'un coup vous n'avez plus la force de tirer. And I mean, like if you do like epic like weightlifting training session, you know that moment where you've been able to hit a heavy weight for you and you try to just climb a bit and you can't even pull that bar because it feels so heavy.
Yeah, no, it happens where you add 2 pounds to the bar and you might as well have added 100 kilos to the bar. It won't even move.
So when we arrived in Paris, I spent a day with Rob Orlando, seeing the sights and sounds, and enjoying ourselves. But amongst one of the things we did is Rob shared a list of things that he keeps that he really dislikes. And I have a list. This is not something I dislike necessarily, just always makes me laugh, is the gratuitous no rep. When an athlete pops out the back of a squat, she's sitting on her butt and the judge stands over her and gives the no rep sign. Just for clarity.
It's like, hey, we got it. Loud and clear.
Ok, vous avez vu une no-rep qui a touché Eviolis, alors que là on voit c'est Frida Agarom-Moller, on vous l'a dit, elle a eu cette impression sur les thrusters, elle a réussi à passer 75. Un des trucs qui ont mis Rob héros, c'est lorsqu'il y a des athlètes qui chutent au sol sur un mouvement d'haltéro et que le juge fait quand même le signe de la no-rep, des fois que vous, spectateurs, le public, n'avez pas compris. Et cette athlète-là, c'est l'Espagnole Elena Caratala. Watch that young woman because she has like good stats. She did, despite the fact that she stands here in the rankings, so not really high, but she finished event number 6 with the squat cleans, ranking 4th overall. So she has a strong weightlifting. Hey, that's your girl, Melissa Herrmann, entering the field.
There's Melissa Herrmann. She's had highs and lows in her last event, event number 7, with the one-legged squats and the handstand push-ups. She really struggled. She was laboring hard on those one-legged squats. I think the handstand push-ups were also tricky for her. So if she wants to stay around the leaderboard, she's going to have to do some work here.
I caught up with her in the warm-up area actually after that event. She said it was clearly a disappointment, but she also knew coming into it that it would be a very bad event for her. We'll see if she can make up ground here, as you mentioned, but again, Rob, we talked about her earlier because in this new format with the sanctionals and the way that the Open interacts with it, it's the potential that Meg Reardon, who is on the CrossFit Invictus team, may help the team get to the games and then go to the games as an individual, which would then free up the 4th place position, which is exactly where Melissa Dahl finished in the Mid-Atlantic CrossFit Championship. So there could actually be 2 ladies from this field that are going to the games because of the new system and the format. Do the math on that.
Good grief.
Pienso que va a ser la última repetición para la campeona de España que se llama Elena Caratala. Et maintenant, on va rentrer dans le vif du sujet. Now we are going to see the big heads. We have 6 more athletes to watch entering that field. Michaela Norman, she's standing 6th overall so far, and she needs to fight very hard because she still have a slight chance to get that ticket for Madison.
Yeah, so the top athletes are starting to take the field. You also have Alice Mill is on platform number 5. She is the Lowlands Qualifier as well, so you will see her at the CrossFit Games. This is a preview. One thing about her, she showed me her hands after yesterday. They were absolute hamburger meat. And so she's got them taped up as if she's got a cast on almost. And I said, well, you're already in the games. Why don't you hang it up for the weekend and just kind of try and recover? And she said, nah, man, that's not my style.
I like that. I've actually been there where we did the hundreds workout at the regionals in 2011, and it was 100 chest bars and 100 swings and 100 snatch. I mean, it was 100 of everything. And the next morning we woke up, we had to do Amanda, which is squat, snatches, and muscle ups. And everybody was in the medical area getting their hands taped up. because nobody had palms left.
Et c'est notre championne de cœur, Sabrina Korone, à nous les Français, qui fait son entrée sur le terrain. Elle va avoir le soutien de la foule, elle qui a sorti sa plus belle tenue, tout de jaune Vétus, et assortie avec son tape. Il faut qu'elle aille la chercher, cette invitation à Madison, c'est ce qu'ici le public veut. Et elle démarre cette première barre à l'altéro, alors qu'on a vu Frida échouer à la barre à 85.
So Rob, I hear you. I get what you're saying. You were already at the competition. Your hands were messed up and there was reason to go on. But step out now, be a coach. Your athlete is Alice Mill. We're a month away from the CrossFit Games, less than, and she's already got her spot secured. What's the cost-benefit analysis of continuing to compete? And I'm not here to tell you that her hands are ruined, but risking, let's just say that she was risking injuring them worse. What would you tell your athlete?
Oh, that's a tricky one. I think you need to know the headspace of your athlete. I think there's got to be a pretty deep relationship there. But I think most of these athletes are so driven not only to compete, but just to see where they rank. And we've heard a couple athletes in their post-workout interviews this weekend say that they want to know what they should bias over the next month or so. That I think it's a great opportunity to see, like, how do I stack up? The other part of it too, Ro, is that you've only got this event and one more. Yeah, but you're so close to the end. The last one is a little bit of a sprint. Like, why not hang out? Why not be there on the floor? I'd have a hard time telling my athlete, like, hey, pull yourself out at this point.
Là, vous avez vu Mato faire son entrée. On parlait d'une athlète comme Alice Mill. Alice Mill est toujours sur le terrain. Elle est grande, elle est forte, mais elle a les mains un petit peu abîmées. On les a comparées à de la viande à hamburger. C'est sympa ça comme image. Et du coup, Rory et Rob se demandaient, est-ce que moi j'étais l'entraîneur d'une athlète comme ça, qui est déjà qualifiée aux Games à un mois de la grosse échéance, est-ce que je lui dirais franchement, vas-y récupère, ou est-ce que au contraire je lui dirais, attends, bouge pas, je vais essayer de te récupérer. De réussir de récupérer un petit peu avant l'event principal. Et bah ça dépend de la relation que vous avez avec votre athlète et de la mentalité de votre athlète, alors que Manon Angonaise, la Belge, vient dépasser la barre à 80 kg sur votre écran.
A great catch on platform number 6, 80 kilos. So we've got another athlete that's going to take a swing at 85 kilos here.
Hey, look at you, Egg, our representative of the Dortier at the top of the leaderboard. Here she comes. No question asked on the skier for that first round.
It's been a pleasure to see Ake's approach to the weekend, considering she's already qualified and she's just attacking these things. She's really going for it. She said it's going to be a training weekend, and I love to see her attitude. Now we're going to dance again. 85 kilos would be the second female athlete to
Come on, Shark. Manon Angonaise, get that bar. Elle va la chercher, elle va la remonter. Yes! Et boum pour Manon Angonaise qui elle aussi en termine avec cette répétition. And this is the last repetition for.
Here we see Carrie Beamer taking the platform.
Sourire l'américaine. And I think that now the interesting fight is also the fight that's going to exist between Michaela Norman and Sabrina Korone, because they are the one fighting really hard to get that invite to Madison. On ne sait pas encore sur quelle ligne est actuellement Michaela Norman, ni sur quelle barre est Sabrina Korone, mais il sera intéressant de voir jusqu'où peut aller Michaela Norman pour avoir une sorte d'objectif pour Sabrina. And once again, there is like a strategical advantage to be like moving this way. I think that Sabrina, she may keep an eye open to have a look at Michaela Norman, because all she has to do is to beat that young lady.
That's right, just beat her by one bar. Although anytime I've ever done one of these ladders, the goal is always to clear it.
Alice Mill, déjà qualifiée au CrossFit Games sur votre écran à gauche, qui va tenter une deuxième répétition à 80 kg. Ça ne passera pas pour Alice Mill, qui va pouvoir aller se soigner un petit peu les mains. Et on vous le disait, en termes de stratégie, là maintenant, ce qui est intéressant, c'est Sabrina Korone face à Michaela Norman. Tout ce qu'elle a besoin de faire, Sabrina Korone, c'est de battre Michaela Norman pour conforter son avance, conforter sa chance d'aller à Madison.
I say advantage to Sabrina Korone being able to watch what Michaela Norman does. Michaela already a little bit shaky on that previous barbell at station number 5, that's 60 kilos. So we basically see Korone gets to watch. She knows what she has to hit.
Ok, Sabrina, tu le sais apparemment, ça a été dur pour Michaela Norman à la barre de 60 kg. Toi, Microbe, cette barre-là, tu l'as faite à Reebok CrossFit Louvre, même pendant les annonces des qualifs du French Throwdown. On attend que ça, de devoir recommencer et gratter encore quelques points pour te rapprocher du précieux sésame. Let's go! Carole Castellani à droite, la représentante française. On the right of your screen, this is Carole Castellani, our national champion, struggling at the minute with that 75 kg bar.
That was really close. The right hand just couldn't get quite locked out. The right elbow was a little bit bent. I just couldn't stand that up. That was really close though.
C'est vraiment un deuxième essai très proche pour Carole Castellani, une petite flexion au niveau du coude qui l'a empêché de tenir. Michaela Norman still on the field. She's wearing black long pants. That blondie next to her is Sabrina Korone. Yellow shorts, black top. They are both hammering the skier.
Yeah, they're trying to get out of the way and get onto that barbell. Give yourself a little bit of time.
Hey, burger meat, hammering. I'm trying to learn those Robisms for myself. Et voilà, c'est ça qui nous intéresse. Michaela Norman sur votre écran. Ce sera dur de passer sur cette barre. I think like.
And Michaela's. Here's Korone.
I told you, like I did before, Sabrina, you know the way she moves? I mean, she's not the strongest and she goes into crazy position, but you don't understand why. She's always able to stand up from the very bottom of the squats.
That was obvious there. Like, she is flexible. She immediately dove down, caught the bar. It wasn't the prettiest, but she was able to lock it out enough to stand it up.
So Sabrina Korone successful at 65 kilos. Michaela Norman out at 70. So for a best on Michaela Norman for Sabrina, she needs to hit this bar. We'll try and put this thing to bed.
C'est déjà tout bon pour Sabrina, le fait que Michaela elle soit sortie. Au pire, elle prend le même nombre de points. Mais en attendant, il faut que Sabrina, si elle veut conforter son avance, il faut qu'elle la tabasse, cette barre à 70 kg. Microbe, on le sait, lorsqu'elle passe en dessous de la barre, elle a peut-être une position super étrange. Mais ce qui est sûr, c'est qu'elle va se remettre debout. C'est comme ça qu'elle est faite, cette fille-là. Oh, également, there is a tie break on the skier if you get to the same bar. If you're able to go fast on that thing, that's going to help you to get some spots in the ranking if you stop at the same barbell.
It'll go to tie break.
Et oui, ça va aller au tie break, mais nouvelle fois, on l'a vu, marteler ce skieur. Il n'y a plus qu'à espérer maintenant que Sabrina, elle était plus rapide que Michaela Herman. Once again, if it goes to tie break, you should check our official leaderboard that is available on www.frenchthrowdown.com.
Meanwhile, on the last platform, Melissa Herrmann making up for a bad previous event. She's about to take a shot at the 85 kilo bar.
Et Melissa Herrmann, athlète américaine qui s'apprête à toucher cette barre à 85 kg. Une fois de plus pour cette athlète, rien n'est joué quant à sa qualification ou invitation au CrossFit Games. En effet, si Invictus Boston se qualifie pour aller à Madison, eh bien elle sera repêchée en individuel et elle ira elle aussi aux US pour participer à la grand-messe du CrossFit mondial.
Oh, it's there, and she wants it.
She's going to have to fully commit. You got to rip it. Stand that thing up.
Il va falloir qu'elle s'engage pour aller la chercher cette barre. Notre athlète qui est toujours sur le terrain à droite de votre écran, c'est Emma Toll. Elle aussi, une habituée du French Throwdown, l'ancienne nageuse qui s'apprête à progresser sur la barre de 75 kilos, sauf erreur de ma part.
So Melissa Herrmann, not successful on 85, but she was successful at 80. So how many women have hoisted the 75 and the 70 kilo bar? That's how much space she can make up on the leaderboard in this one event. Remember, she's still in the hunt. This is one of 2 events left on the day, so a really strong showing for Melissa Herrmann, even though she was unable to get that final bar.
Ok, donc cette athlète qui a malgré toutes ses chances de se qualifier au game, Melissa Herrmann, on espère que le fait d'avoir réussi à passer cette barre de 80 kg, ça va lui permettre un peu de creuser un gap, de l'aider à gratter des points, parce qu'elle aussi elle chasse, elle veut vraiment monter le plus haut possible, alors que vous avez Egg Wolfadottir sur votre écran. Come on Egg. And look at that gaze, you know that look?
Yeah, I tell you what I noticed there was how patient she was at the bottom. She caught the bar, sat still, focused, got herself organized, and then stood herself up instead of rushing out of the bottom, which is a mistake that a lot of lifters make.
Et on faisait un commentaire sur le regard concentré de Egg, aussi sa capacité à rester vraiment figé dans la position de réception, prendre le temps de se stabiliser, pas de précipitation. Cette athlète-là, elle va également au CrossFit Games. Elle se connaît, elle est maligne dans son entraînement et c'est comme ça qu'elle continue à avancer pour progresser vers la barre à 72 kg 500. And I think that now our 3 best athletes are already on the field. Egg, Carrie Beamer now on the screen, and Jackie Dastrom on the far right side of the screen. 3 athletes already qualified or invited to the CrossFit Games.
And Jacqueline Dahlstrom, she's one that's just been quiet all weekend long. I haven't spoken to her. She hasn't won an event. She's taken a 2nd place, but still been the overall leader since event number 3.
On pourra en profiter alors qu'on voit Egg qui s'apprête à s'approcher de sa barre, mais essayer un petit peu de parler un peu plus de Jacqueline Dahlstrom. C'est quand même l'athlète qui a remporté le French Throwdown l'an dernier. Elle est déjà qualifiée aux Games en étant la plus fit du Danemark, alors qu'on voit que Egg a du mal avec cette barre 75, mais c'est également l'athlète qui a remporté le Sanctionals de Reykjavik. On était curieux de connaître ses objectifs et ses buts en venant au French Throwdown. Toujours une athlète très disponible pour discuter avec nous. Et c'est Egg, l'Islandaise, qui quitte le terrain, saluée par Daniel Chaffet, le directeur de la compétition du CrossFit French Throwdown. And look at Jacqueline Dahlstrom right in the middle of the screen before she was about to grab and hammer the ski egg. She took some time and energy to dance. She seems to be in a crazy good mood.
No, it's like Rory and I had talked about it, that doing these ladders is so much fun, and you're coming to the close of the weekend. You're in the finish line. You're right there, and it just feels so good to be that close. You know, you've trained, you've worked hard, and now we're almost across the finish line.
C'est ça leur état d'esprit. Elles ont fait déjà le plus gros du travail. Boum, 70, ça passe tranquille pour Jacqueline Dahlstrom. 75, ça passe aussi pour Carrie Beamer. Et c'est ça, c'est l'ambiance et la bonne humeur. On est quasiment au bout du chemin. Elles n'ont plus qu'à clôturer en beauté leur compétition. Et voilà, les filles cette fois-ci c'est sérieux. Now it's game face on, no dance move anymore.
3, 2, 1, go.
Ok, là cette fois-ci, ça ne danse plus. Les points là, ils vont compter. Comme on vous le disait, il va falloir taper fort aussi dans le ski erg, parce que plus vous êtes rapide sur le ski erg, plus votre tie break va être bon. I think also the lucky thing regarding to those that little kind of couplets at the end, so it's a crossing of the hips and then opening of the hips. I think that the workout would have been completely different if they had to perform rock out, for example, instead of the ski erg.
That would be a completely different workout, totally different workout.
Ok, ça passe 75 pour Jacqueline.
Jacqueline Dahlstrom made that look easy at 75 kilos.
And I'm telling you, Jacqueline, she's a poker player. I'm trying to look at her stats into my system, and she shared absolutely no info with us.
Well, I can tell you this, I saw her win.
And here we go for that 80 kg bar, and look at that, the audience is crazy for Jacqueline. And that's a wrap.
Love the intensity on that. Good finish. Let's see if she can clear this whole thing.
Good save, really good save, man. Took that bar pitched forward and she came forward with it. And that's a big deal when you're getting towards just barely sub-maximal loads.
And you can see her tiptoe right up to that white line. I think it would be a no rep if she stepped over that line, so good for her to keep that in bounds.
Quand même, c'est pas passé loin, effectivement. Si son pied avait mordu de trop sur la ligne, elle aurait été comptabilisée no rep, mais là, elle a un confidence boost parce qu'elle a été capable de lever une barre sans doute très proche de son max, ou du moins une barre très lourde. On lui souhaite maintenant d'être capable de réussir à exploser cette dernière barre à 85 kg. Regardez, si vous voulez bronzer, les gens sont souriants, l'ambiance est bonne et les filles sont mignonnes. Venez à Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines au Vélodrome à côté de Paris, prenez vos places et rejoignez-nous pour ce dernier jour de compétition. I said she was a poker player, and this one was a nice bluff.
And she knows it's not there. It doesn't matter if the crowd gets behind her or not. If it's not there, it's not there.
Et voilà comment se conclut cette vague d'élite femmes. C'était l'épreuve numéro 8 du CrossFit French Throwdown 2019. La scorecard est signée, les dés sont jetés. Et ces jeunes femmes, on les retrouvera cet après-midi lorsqu'on reprendra le live pour la dernière vague d'élite femmes, la dernière épreuve, la finale. Mais on en reparlera un peu plus tard cet après-midi. Maintenant, ce qui nous attend, ça va être les hommes. The men are about to go next in just like 10 minutes. And before we move to them, let's try to take some time and have that nice interview between Ro, that you may see on the right of your screen, and Jacqueline Dahlstrom. And Ro, you're about to get that interview out of the way. Take your time, enjoy your conversation with our 2018 champion, Jacqueline Dahlstrom.
All right, Jacqueline, first of all, let's go through the last lift. It ended up being just sort of maybe a deadlift?
I didn't even do the pull. It would have been a 3 kilo PR, but I didn't do it, so.
Pretty close, and considering where we are in the weekend, you know, how do you feel about your performance in this event?
I'm very happy. 80 is where I'm kind of, I can make it, I can miss it. So I'm happy I made that after all the ski and all the snatches. So for me, that was a solid event. Yeah.
Let's talk about the big picture. You're the defending champion here. You're doing tremendous in this event. But beyond that, the Open was amazing for you. You won in Iceland. Something changed this year? What's going on?
I think I did a lot of competitions last year after regionals, because regionals wasn't a good performance for me. So I think, one, I have a bit more confidence on the competition floor. And then also last year I traveled for 6 months straight, which does affect stuff. No. So now we've been staying in one place, which makes it a lot easier staying in this. So I think that's the biggest difference, really.
Okay. Considering that you were already qualified, why did you come? Why did you come to France?
Well, one, it was I had to do the qualifiers before I got you're invited to the games. And it's always like you never know with the videos and everything, so I did the qualifiers just in case. And then it was basically like we had everything paid. it's a great event. I really liked it last year. For me this year, games isn't really going to be. I'm going to see more what it is, what it's like, and try to have fun. And I then also wanted to enjoy the lead up to the games. So this is just part of having fun, really.
That's really interesting to me because obviously this year you've shown that you can excel in a field of fantastic athletes, but still the goals, you're going to keep your expectations low.
For this year, I want to go, because we don't know how it is with cutoffs, like nothing is actually set. So this year I want to go with more like, okay, I might be out after day one. And I think if I now set just had the sole focus of games now for 4 months and not done this, which I really enjoy, I think I would have, the taste in my mouth wouldn't be as good if I'd been out after day one at games. But now that I've actually enjoyed the lead up, it's more of a fun. We'll see how it is, and then next year I'll be more like, okay, this is how games are now. Okay. So I'm gonna go all in.
Great. How is that expectation different from what you came here expecting?
Well, here I wanted to do well. So that's definitely, you're a competitor. You're a competitor. You're not gonna go just to have fun. You want to do well.
Okay, great. You're definitely doing well so far. Congratulations.
Encore merci à Jacqueline Dahlström, elle est venue là pour prendre du fun, elle a organisé différemment sa saison depuis la fin des régionaux, cette jeune athlète, une organisation peut-être plus structurée, moins de compétition, moins de voyages, en tout cas ça paye, elle qui a réussi à lever une barre à seulement 2 kilos de son record personnel, on lui souhaite encore de persévérer dans cette direction, de prendre pourquoi pas la première place du podium ici et d'aller représenter sa nation au CrossFit Games. Une nouvelle fois, vous avez vu le highlight de cette épreuve, les ladders, c'est beaucoup d'émotions, c'est super intense, il y a de l'action, vous en voulez encore? Eh bien ça tombe bien, on se retrouve dans quelques minutes pour nos élites individuelles hommes. Vous allez voir, ça va bastonner des clangs et des bangs everywhere. This is what we're gonna see in just a few minutes. See you next. On est de retour à 50 ans en Yvelines pour l'épreuve numéro 8 du CrossFit French Throwdown 2019. Les meilleurs élites hommes, on va les commenter avec vous. Moi c'est Elie, toujours avec Rory McKernan sur le terrain, Rob Orlando à mes côtés, à côté de qui j'essaye de faire bonne figure. On a eu beaucoup d'émotions et de la puissance sur le terrain avec ce ladder de snatch, avec un petit peu de travail préparatoire en ski avec les filles. Voyons voir la même chose maintenant avec les hommes. Ces hommes dont le classement va nous intéresser.
Well, we've got event number 8 coming up. Let's take a look at our leaderboard just to see what's going on here. And Josh Miller trying to earn a spot to the games this year, sitting out in front with 650 points. And really, the one that he's competing against is Mitchell Stevenson with 606 points, currently sitting in 4th position.
Et oui, pour l'instant en tête du classement provisoire, c'est Josh Miller, 650 points. Ça fait plaisir, c'est un super athlète, super sympa. Et lui, il veut décrocher sa place pour les CrossFit Games. Il n'est pas encore invité ou qualifié, ce n'est pas le cas de Jonakowski et de Willy George, qui se quand même tirent la bourre depuis le début de la compétition. Ce matin, Jonakowski, il a donné quand même la leçon à Willy George, notamment sur la marche sur les mains. Je pense que Willy va vouloir avoir sa revanche, alors que l'épreuve a déjà commencé. C'est David Mata qui est sur le fil, David Mata de CrossFit Berkana. I was saying that this morning, I mean, like Jonakowski, he gave a lesson to Willy about handstand walking, and I'm pretty sure that Willy is going to do his best to try to take his revenge on those snatches.
No question about it. But Eliot, let's talk about what this event is, what we're looking at. What is event number 8 for our elite men? It is a snatch ladder, but we're going to throw a little wrinkle in there with the ski erg. Every 75 seconds, we're going to start a round. The athlete has 60 seconds to do 8 calories on the ski erg and then snatch 1 barbell. And you can see our athlete making his way over to the next ski erg. The barbells get progressively heavier. They start out at 70 kilos, which is 155 pounds. With 10 lifts, they work all the way up to 125 kilograms, which is 275 pounds. Again, 8 calories on the ski, and then 1 snatch, increasing weight for 10 rounds.
Et oui, donc cet event numéro 8, si vous nous rejoignez, parlons-en alors que Lee Duens de Dragon CrossFit à Cardiff, the Welshman, is entering the field. Cette épreuve, c'est un snatch ladder avec des barres qui vont aller de 70 kg jusqu'à 125 kg. Il y aura 10 barres en tout. Avant d'avoir le droit d'accéder à ces barres, les athlètes doivent réaliser 8 calories sur le ski erg. Pour faire ces 8 calories et leur répétition, ils doivent faire ça en moins de 60 secondes, puis ils ont 15 secondes de temps de transition. Si jamais 2 athlètes stoppent sur la même barre, eh bien le tie break, c'est le temps qu'ils auront mis à réaliser leurs 8 calories au ski erg. Devant vos yeux, Lee Duens for Dragon CrossFit in Cardiff, Wales, eating easily that barbell at 70 kg, 155 pounds.
And right away, what we see is that the barbells escalate quickly. They go from 70 to 80 to 90. And after 90, they only go up by 5 kilograms at a time. So we're going to make some big jumps early. And then from the 4th round on, it's only 5 kilograms per bar.
Et oui, donc on les voit, hein, ces 10 barres, elles vont s'étalonner de 70 kg à 125 kg. On va commencer par faire des gros sauts en allant de 10, 110, 70, 80, 90. Puis on va réduire cet intervalle en passant à des sauts de 5 kg jusqu'à atteindre les 125 kg. Alors que Jonathan Dubby de CrossFit Stricken fait son entrée sur le terrain. Le Canadien, tout sourire lui aussi.
And I think Rory he might be backstage with Eliot Simmons. Rory, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. I hope this microphone's coming through. I got the boys just throwing around some weights in the back here.
Sounds good.
I'm going to talk to Eliot Simmons because after last event we didn't get to chat. But how do you stay warm while you're waiting for your turn?
Yeah, we're just trying to work out how long we actually have because if it's every 75 seconds and we're 35, like we're 35 at the time, it's 43 minutes. So it's just working out when you need to hit your last lift and then go over.
Great, so what do you expect for yourself on this one?
PB.
What would be a PB for you?
125 would be a PB. 120 is I've hit that 4 or 5 times.
Good luck, can't wait to see it.
Et oui, donc Rory McKernan qui discute avec Eliot Simmons. Et Eliot Simmons qui dit que lui, ce qu'il essaie de faire, c'est de faire 3-4 répétitions à un poids relativement léger pour rester frais, pour rester dans le game nerveusement pendant le temps de son échauffement. Lui, son objectif, ce serait d'être capable d'atteindre la barre des 125 kg. Ça serait un record personnel. Alors qu'on voit Gunnar Regan rentrer sur scène. You know that Gunnar Regan is its first on show competition at that level in the elite division. He went to our gym in Paris at Reebok CrossFit Louvre to train a bit 2 days in a row. Super cool. Was traveling with, I guess, his girlfriend and his mom. We are really happy to see him on that dance floor.
It's great to see somebody make that leap into the elite division and try to earn a ticket to Madison.
C'est toujours cool, hein, c'est sa première année à Gunnar, sa première compétition dans un événement sanctionné CrossFit. C'est le début de sa carrière en tant qu'athlète élite, on lui souhaite tout le meilleur. Et un joli power snatch à 80 kg pour Gunnar, juste comme ça, alors que David Mata passe la barre des 100 kg. David Mata successful on that 222-pound barbell.
And what we heard from the ladies was that the ski erg wasn't much of a factor. It keeps your heart rate elevated slightly, but it's not overly taxing. If it was 10 or 11 or 12 calories, it'd be way harder. But at 8 calories, these guys are done in about 20 seconds. That gives them the opportunity to go over and do at least one lift. If they can settle the barbell, it gives the opportunity to do 2 lifts if they need it. But ideally, you're just looking for 1 try.
Et on l'a dit, hein, d'après les filles, finalement le ski erg ça n'impacte pas tant que ça la capacité à lifter du lourd. Il faut juste se débarrasser de ça rapidement pour avoir le meilleur tie break possible, mais aussi avoir le plus de temps pour se concentrer et faire sa barre. Une fois de plus, le temps est très serré, 1 minute c'est très court, il n'y a pas vraiment de place pour l'échec dans ce ladder. Boom, 230 for Alex Mata, 220 for our friend from Cardiff, Lee Duans. So far, so good. Et c'est Antoine Gasparini qui d'ici quelques secondes va faire son entrée sur le terrain. Antoine Gasparini qui s'entraîne à CrossFit Lutèce. Le CrossFit French Throwdown, c'est sa compétition, c'est son événement pour lequel il se prépare chaque année. I don't really care where he stands on the leaderboard. That French athlete called Antoine Gasparini, I know how much he cares about events. That's his main focus during the whole season. So once again, no matter what he does, I'm going to be supporting him.
It's good to see somebody make that leap, get out there and participate, see how they do with realistic expectations. Maybe you don't think you've got a shot to go, but it's always good to get out there and compete.
And I can tell you about Antoine, he's also one of the training buddies of Willie George's. So every day he gets beaten when he goes to the gym, but he's still always going to come back again and again. I mean, like, he's tough. He's really tough.
We just saw our first miss there. Looks Lee Duance. Here he is trying a second attempt at 110. And he was able to lock that out. I think that's the first athlete I've seen make it on their second attempt. Everybody else has kind of run out of time and been too rushed. But he was able to lock that out, stand it up. That's a good miss, a good catch.
C'est vrai que David Mata là-dessus, c'est le premier athlète qu'on voit capable de réussir une répétition après un échec. Il est bien resté concentré, il a pu avoir cette deuxième rep, alors que c'est notre ami Noël Nagel de CrossFit Altona qui est sorti 46e des qualifs et qui est maintenant à la 33e position du classement provisoire du CrossFit French Throwdown, qui s'élance sur sa première série de calories au ski erg. Lee Duans from Dragon CrossFit Wales. 230 on that bar. 45 on that bar, sorry. Easy day.
He must have just made a mental mistake at 110 and it just not caught it quite right, because 115 looked really strong.
Et l'Espagnol Rafa Lourdes Bossa.
3, 2, 1, go.
David Mata, your first athlete from Spain.
Es un placer para nosotros cuando vemos atletas que vienen de España. French Throwdown has always been like a competition, happy to welcome anyone from all over Europe and now all over the world. It's always a good pleasure to see some people coming from Spain and also Italy or any other countries.
Well, I tell you, just looking at the leaderboard, the flags are from all over the place, which is, it's so great to see an international, a truly international competition.
David Mata, 120 kilos sur la barre. C'est un peu précipité. You spoke about the ability to stay in that tight position to stabilize yourself. I think that's a mistake that he did.
Yeah, one of the things that we saw some of the girls do, the more experienced lifters, I think Carrie Beamer did a great job. Got underneath the bar and sat and stabilized for 3 or 4 seconds, which is an eternity when you're at the bottom of that squat. And then stood it up comfortably and steadily as opposed to trying to rush out of the bottom.
Et là sur vos écrans, c'est l'italien Nico Petruzzi que j'ai eu l'occasion de rencontrer moi avant les régionaux. C'était en 2018, on a partagé un entraînement. C'était au Meridian Regionals à Madrid. Un athlète des plus sympathiques, des plus souriants. Content de le voir sur ce terrain, hâte de voir ce qu'il va donner cette épreuve. That was close for Gunnar on that rep. Lee Duans on the bar. And it's no rep for both of those two athletes.
Rotate. Now welcoming from CrossFit Avon in the United Kingdom, James Saint-Leger.
Ok, James Saint-Léger. Il nous vient également du Royaume-Uni, la tête de CrossFit Herman, qui lui est à la 30e place alors qu'il était 13e à l'issue des qualifications. And for James Saint-Léger, he finished the qualifiers on the 13th position and now he's standing 30 on the final event.
Yeah, you never know what kind of a weekend you're going to have when you come out here, and you come into this thing with a set of expectations and a game plan, and maybe things go off the rails in the first event, maybe it's somewhere in day 2, but eventually you come to realize that, all right, this isn't going to play out the way I wanted to, and you just have to make the best of the opportunity you have on the floor.
Antoine Gasparini à 105 kg. I know that those guys, Willie, George and Antoine, they don't do that much of regular weightlifting sessions. They love to do like kind of spicy EMOMs or anything like that. So I think that kind of format is really going to suit them pretty well.
2, 1, rotate.
This is a style of programming that we actually use all the time at Hybrid. And it's, we love doing these intervals of double unders and then weightlifting, or burpees and weightlifting, where you've got some element of cardio that's going to spike you up, because anybody can be strong when you're fresh and you're not breathing heavy. But the question is, can you put it all together when the wheels are coming off?
Effectivement, lui dans sa salle, un Hybrid Athletics aux États-Unis, Europe, Orlando, c'est très souvent ce type d'entraînement qui va utiliser mélanger un exercice cardio avec un exercice d'haltéro ou de force, parce que tout le monde peut éventuellement développer de la force, mais la vraie question, c'est est-ce qu'on est capable de conserver et d'exprimer cette force lorsqu'on a cette fois-ci le cœur qui bat fort, qui monte jusque dans la glotte. Et ben c'est pour savoir ça que ce type d'entraînement existe. 105 kg pour notre ami Noël Nagel, ça passe. Et c'est Gaspa, 110 kg, ça passe aussi. Alors que vous entendez le verbe fleuri avec le doux accent québécois de Greg, notre speaker. Et il va falloir saquer dedans, il va falloir lever des plates. et s'amuser au Vélodrome de Saint-Quentin. On y vient à côté de Paris. Venez nous rejoindre, c'est pas fini, on est là jusqu'à 18h. Venez rencontrer les derniers athlètes à se qualifier pour les CrossFit Games. Retirez vos places et regardez toutes les stats et le leaderboard sur www.frenchredon.com alors qu'on accueille le Bordelais Maximilien Simon.
Hey Rory, from the TV screen that we're looking at here, because we're inside, it looks like maybe there's some cloud cover. Has the field changed at all since the ladies went?
Oh, you're inside. Must be nice, Rob. Must be nice. You know, it's funny. The clouds do come and go. So yeah, at the moment, it's completely accurate. We are shaded at the moment, and there's actually a little bit of a breeze that'll come through from time to time. So certainly not the elements that we were experiencing, especially earlier in the weekend and even earlier today.
That's a big advantage. I've actually, well, let's take a look at this 115 lift right here. And it just doesn't have enough to get underneath it and lock those elbows out. I remember doing a competition, and we were competing in Canton, Massachusetts, and it poured rain right before we went out and had to go do squat clean thrusters on wooden platforms. You know, some athletes got dry platforms and some got wet, but you know, it is what it is. That's just the reality. It's a changing field. You're outside. There's nothing you can do about it.
Et oui, les couleurs de l'écran changent un peu, alors que c'est Mcguirk de CrossFit Saint-Simon qui s'apprête à rentrer sur le field. Et si les couleurs changent sur votre écran, eh bien c'est simplement parce qu'il y a des nuages qui vont et qui viennent recouvrir un petit peu le soleil. Mais croyez-moi, après avoir passé une semaine ici pour tout installer, eh bien ces quelques jours de canicule, on les prend, nous, ces nuages. Et si ça affecte un petit peu la température et les conditions de l'entraînement, eh bien c'est aussi ça le jeu du sport.
Rob, I know you're old school. And we love the outdoor events. So what do you think about the Coliseum in Madison? Are you envious that you never got to compete in there, where the temperature is controlled, you're outside of the elements?
You know, I don't know. I like the idea of the evolution of the sport over time. And if we think back to like 2009 at the ranch in Aromas, where you know it was really, really rough. You know, the athletes were hanging out on concrete floors in between events, and you know, you basically had your own lunch box of food that you brought with you. It was just less evolved. And then as you kind of move forward, competing in Carson at the Home Depot, at the StubHub Center, and being involved in some of those early competitions where the floor is blazing hot, you're out there on the soccer field, and you know, there weren't fans, and you know, it's like 125 degrees on the field. And you know, the sport is getting bigger, and it's evolving into something where the athletes need to be taken care of because the volume of the work has gone up and the expectations have gone up. And I think that, you know, CrossFit has done a great job of rising to the occasion there.
There was a regional event in NorCal, and I want to say that it was 2012. I could be off base, but what happened was there was a box jump and deadlift workout. I'm sure you remember it. 315 pounds and high box jumps, 21:15.9. There were some athletes that literally completed it in the rain, and there were some who completed it when the sun came up, and it was not just hot, but there was a mugginess that you never would have. You just can't even wrap your head around. And so they were categorically different workouts, at least in terms of the elements that you had to complete them in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things that I'm thinking about is my very first regionals event, and that was in Albany. And the rig that we were doing pull-ups on wasn't even bolted to the ground. And it was in a parking lot. So when you were doing chest to bar pull-up, the workout was overhead squats and chest to bar pull-ups. When you were doing pull-ups, if the guy on the other side of the rig did a chest to bar pull-up, he would move the entire rig 6 inches away from you. It was just a completely different event at that time. But that's where the sport started.
I love it. Story time with Rob.
Et là, vous venez de rater les contes de Tonton Roby et de Tonton Rory. Il y avait de la bonne histoire sur l'histoire des CrossFit Games, des souvenirs sur Carson, les entraînements dans ce qu'on appelle le tennis stadium où les athlètes devaient courir sur des graviers sous la chaleur, des époques aussi où les régionaux, quand ça existait encore, c'était parfois en plein air, vous pouviez faire un event de box jump et de deadlift sous la pluie, un event de box jump et de deadlift sous une chaleur écrasante. C'était plus les mêmes entraînements. En tout cas, aujourd'hui, les choses sont différentes. C'est fini les rigs qui sont plus boulonnés au sol. On attend beaucoup des athlètes. C'est la raison pour laquelle on prend soin d'eux pour les aider à performer au plus haut niveau, comme ça Stuart qui rentre sur l'écran, mais aussi pour éviter les risques de blessures, en les travaillant notamment comme ici au Vélodrome, dans des environnements plus contrôlés.
Did you just get in a translation of everything that me and Rob said? That's amazing.
That's it, my friends.
Guys got skill.
Fernandez Boza hit 120 kilos. I'm not sure if you guys got to enjoy that. And there was quite a struggle bus on 110 kilos. But an impressive save and an impressive finish, kind of like the Kerry Beamer lift you mentioned from earlier.
Donc là, les athlètes sont bons. Is that me or anybody yet has touched the final barbell?
We have not yet, but we're closing in on it.
Okay, now on the field you have a pretty strong athlete. You have the boy of Robert Landerrock, Dernikovic, just like entered the field, and his hypothetic max snatch is 125. You also have like Alex Evans, who is the beast at weightlifting. I'm pretty sure he's going to touch that bar.
Oh, we can see that miss there. It wasn't there. I think he knew it. He nailed the one before it, the 120 bar. Looked really strong. We actually did see that on screen, but the 125 just wasn't there. Wasn't able to get himself underneath it at all.
There is another solid athlete that you may have to look at. Is that man, Evander Harwood. The neck is quite small. He's solid. I think he had a nice leverage to be able to be good at snatches.
If he's got the speed to get underneath the bar and the mobility to stand it up and to lock it out, then this would be a great event for him.
Our boy Rock is on the competition floor too. I really have enjoyed watching him this entire weekend.
Vous l'entendez, hein, la foule crier pour Johan Mcguirk, c'est normal. C'est l'un des athlètes qui a le plus marqué l'histoire de la compétition en fitness et en crossfit, dans l'histoire de l'Hexagone. Une nouvelle fois, chaque fois qu'il vient se présenter au French Throwdown, c'est un plaisir et un honneur pour nous de l'avoir avec nous.
3, 2, 1.
Et un autre Bordelais qui fait son arrivée. Il a des tatouages de rockstar. C'est Quentin Antoine.
2, 1.
What a gangsta pose for that French boy.
You see these guys getting to work. Let's remind the viewers what we're watching here. We've got 8 calories on the Mcguirk, so 8 calories at each station, and then you've got to perform a snatch. And the snatch weight is increasing from 70 kilos all the way up to 125 kilos. And we've got 10 different stations out on the floor. The athletes have a minute to complete that work and then 15 seconds to transition to the next station.
Et donc une nouvelle fois, hein, si vous nous rejoignez, vous êtes ici au Vélodrome de Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines, vous regardez l'event numéro 8 du French Throwdown, c'est un ladder de snatch. Les athlètes ont 1 minute pour réaliser 8 calories au skier le plus vite possible, puis faire une répétition valide d'arraché. On regarde Johan Mcguirk manipuler une barre à 110 kg et ce sera la barre de la fin pour Johan. Ces barres, elles vont de 70 kg pour la plus légère à 125 kg pour la plus lourde. Aucun athlète n'a jusqu'à présent complété cette barre. On espère que c'est Raphaël Rufio-Durand qui l'annonce seulement 2 jours avant l'événement qu'il était qualifié pour les French Throwdown. Il a sauté dans un avion et nous a rejoint. On espère qu'il ira le plus loin possible. That man, he knew for sure, he got confirmed that he had to come to the final only 2 days before the actual event. He just like jumped on a plane and joined us. Et c'est Spencer Punchik. It's because of Spencer Punchik, because like he had to withdraw very last minute. So we came to a situation where we didn't know what to do because we had to check on that ranking who was coming next, and we just like give it a shot. He flew from Argentina. 2 friends to take that spot and have fun with us.
Unbelievable, and he's done such a great job all weekend. Love seeing those athletes that are just ready anytime, and that we talk about that all the time, right? It's that ready state. just to be able to lace up the shoes and go.
Yeah, and there is also like something that is super sad, that when you have to withdraw with no explanation to one of those like sanctional events, in a way you are kind of stealing the opportunity for someone else to get into the fight, to try to get access to that precious ticket.
Point me out to that athlete, guys. Which station is he located on?
Raphaël actuellement doit être sur la deuxième barre. Raphaël must be on the barbell number 2.
2 or 3, Rory. I'm pretty sure he's probably about 3 minutes in here.
Oh, okay, yep. He threw me off. He's so not actually from Argentina. He's trained out of NorCal CrossFit with Jason Kalipa. Had a chance to talk to him.
And here we go, 110 kg on that bar. Look how easy it is for Alex Evans, aka Bacon.
Funny story about Raphael. So Raphael is actually the boyfriend of Allison Scudds. And so when he actually got the call to take that invite, he said he was embarrassed that he hadn't already come over to support Allison prior to getting the invite. He said it was kind of made me feel like a bad boyfriend that I couldn't just say, yeah, I'm already here.
But he got his tickets booked and made his way over.
So the man is lucky not only once but twice.
That's right. Yeah, we'll catch up with him after he's done lifting. Hopefully he gets well north of where he's at now.
So for your personal awareness, if you look at the athlete who just entered the field, the kind of shirt that he's wearing with the blue stripes, this is the official sign of an affiliate gym called CrossFit Lyon. Every athlete competing for that gym, they are always going to wear that kind of t-shirt, so that makes them really easy to recognize.
They stole my heart, not just the athletes, but also their fans at the Meridian Regional on multiple occasions, because their fans will also don the hats. Sometimes they'll have fake cigarettes, they'll dance on the competition floor. I think that they just got such a great attitude in competition. They don't take themselves too seriously.
Et vraiment, ça c'est un beau tribut, un beau compliment fait à CrossFit Lyon, pas seulement ses athlètes, mais également toute sa communauté qui a montré du soutien à ses athlètes sur différents événements sanctionnaux et régionaux. Sachez-le, et vous êtes fan de certains de vos athlètes, et Rory McKiernan, il est fan de vous apparemment à CrossFit Lyon. Bravo à vous.
And there we saw Rock just missed 120. Wasn't able to quite get himself underneath the bar, get those arms locked out.
I can catch up with Rock right now. Let's talk to him.
Okay, on va donc parler avec Rock.
Just barely couldn't get under 120. What's going on? What happened?
It's just that, sticky point between 115 and 120. It's a big gap for me,
So where does this rank in your overall, in your typical lifts?
In a rank, my maximum is 225. So if I would leave this, I will leave. Amazed. I will be surprised, but I'm satisfied with 15.
This is a much different event than the rest of the ones we've seen all weekend. How'd you like it?
I like snatching. I like weightlifting, I spend a lot of time training weightlifting because I need to gain a little bit more weight and muscle, so I like snatching. But I'm not there yet, I can match these guys right now.
Good job.
Thank you.
Eh oui, un bon boulot pour Rok Darnikovic, mais regardez bien vos écrans. Je pense que c'est le premier athlète qui va finir ce leader. Sam Stewart qui termine sa répétition, l'athlète de CrossFit Irlanda, 115 kg. And I think that now we may see the first athlete able to finish that ladder, aka Alex Evans. Please, on the next set, try to watch him on that 125 kg barbell.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see at least 1 or 2 people clear this whole thing, and Alex Evans has a good shot. He made 120 look like a toy.
Et regardez bien, sauf erreur de ma part, il a non seulement une barre à 125, mais également une barre à 130 kg sur le terrain.
No problem. Get that left elbow locked. There you go.
I wouldn't say no problem. I'd say that was very impressive save.
Little sticky on that left side. Looked like the elbow is just slightly bent. That makes it hard to stand up, but he's a strong boy. He was able to stand it up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question the capacity's there. I think he's going to have to hit his technique, though, to make this one stay up.
Yeah, just maybe his bone are just maybe a little bit too long, and so it's just not possible for him to look at that elbow.
I know what that problem's like.
Ok, c'est peut-être son moment de briller pendant ce week-end de compétition. Lucca Sparkle, I hope for him it's gonna be his time to shine. Lucca Sparkle, the Canadian, is entering the field to start that snatch ladder.
And if you're looking bottom left of your screen, it's kind of a pink shirt with the hat backwards and the crazy hair. Alex Evans stepping up to that final bar. He's going to have to tap into every bit of strength and skill that he's got here to knock out that 130. He'd be the first guy to clear the whole rack.
Crowd's going to help him along, too. I can tell you down here, guys, if I don't have these headphones in, I can't hear a thing.
Come on, buddy.
Get it.
Oh, he's keeping it up there.
Yeah, I think like it's like you always said, all for the gram, just in case.
See what Alex Evans has to say. He signed his paperwork with the judge there.
Maxi Hens de S&P Sports qui fait son entrée sur le terrain.
Nice work, my friend.
So much.
Where does this rank in your against your PR?
2.5 kilos off.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.5 kilos below this was.
So how much did the rest of the week affect your lifting today?
I like lifting under fatigue, but I don't know, I was looking forward to this whole weekend. The first day was tough, second day was tough. I look forward to this event.
I see that you've got some team competition experience at Sanctionals. Is this your first individual competition?
No, man, I hit French Throwdown a couple of years ago, and I went regionals last year.
Okay. How's it comparing to your other competitions?
Oh, this is fuck me. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Just say it again when in doubt.
Yeah, but it's been super fun.
Good job.
So much.
Et Alex Evans au micro de Rory McKernan qui serre la main du directeur de la compétition, Daniel Chaffet. Il est déjà venu au French Throwdown, il a déjà été aux régionaux, il a fait des événements sanctionnés en équipe. C'est vraiment quelqu'un ici qu'on apprécie beaucoup dans l'Hexagone et j'ai entendu dire que lui aussi, il aimait assez la France pour différentes raisons.
Ellie, did you translate that word for word?
I tried.
When you curse in French, do you say pardon my English? Because when we curse in English, we always say pardon my French.
I'm going to be honest with you, when we curse in France, we don't even apologize.
Lucca Sparkle on the competition floor. We were all looking forward to this. So platform number 3, strong athlete, super technical athlete, but like I said, he usually likes a big pre-ritual. So I'm interested to see how he's approaching these bars. This is the first lift of his that I'll actually get to see.
And Lucca Sparkle on the screen, white shirt, diving underneath that. He's got the bald head, big beard, black and white shorts on, and then he sits down. This is kind of a customary thing that we've all seen out of Lucca Sparkle, where we sit down. Why exert any energy if you don't have to?
I think like you can recognize Lucca Sparkle kind of systemic, almost rigid approach regarding to the way he moves and the way he behaves in the workouts. Pavel Kozak, that guy did really good on the double kettlebell swing event. He looked like pretty strong. He's coming from the eastern of Europe. They have a lot of very good weightlifters in that area. Let's see how far he's going to go.
And if you take a look at the bottom right of your screen, Lucca Sparkle there setting up, white t-shirt, bending down, getting himself set on the, he's now on the split side right screen. Making easy work of that barbell at 100 kilos. Have a seat, take a load off, my friend.
Promenade de santé pour Lucca Sparkle, il prend la barre, il la tire, il s'assoit, il récupère. C'est systématique.
Comes from a lot of skin in the game. Lucca Sparkle, another athlete kind of like Janikowski, who has been competing since he was 19 years old, as a teenager basically, and he's been competing longer than Janikowski, much longer actually. So one of the most veteran athletes in the sport of fitness at this time.
Et oui, Lucca Sparkle, s'il est toujours dans le game, c'est parce qu'il a commencé la compétition tôt, vraiment très très tôt. À l'âge de 19 ans, c'était encore quasiment un adolescent. C'est pour ça qu'il a accumulé tant d'expérience et qu'il est toujours là au plus haut niveau.
And one of the other athletes that we're looking at is Roman Krenikov. And he's got the red shorts on with the military-style green shirt on. Just made easy work of that barbell. And now Lucca Sparkle stepping up at 105.
Et mine de rien, il est relevé le niveau du plateau là actuellement sur le set. Lucca Sparkle, plusieurs fois athlète au CrossFit Games. Roman Krenikov, déjà invité au CrossFit Games, vainqueur des régionaux l'an passé, meilleur athlète de Russie après les Open. Jamie Eden, ancien vainqueur en 2016 du CrossFit French Open. Tous ces gens-là sont en train de s'affronter et c'est Linus Johansson qui entame à son tour ce leader.
3, 2, 1, go.
And Linus Johansson was struggling a bit this morning with the pistols. We've been able to spot that pretty easily. I'm curious to see if it was like a mobility issue or if maybe he has the leg completely smoked after 2 days of competition, and if so, how it is going to impact or not his ability to do those heavy lifts.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually just looking it up, and I think he came in almost dead last on that the prior event, and it looked like he was struggling on the pistols, just laboring way more than it almost looked like an injury. But we'll see. Maybe his legs are just smoked, and hopefully he was able to recover. Lucca Sparkle on the left side of the screen at 110 still looks like warm-up weights. He is winging that barbell around. It's technical. He hasn't lost a single bit of technique there.
3, 2, 1.
Boom. And that's a yes at 105. Georgios Karavis entering the field. You know that guy from Greece? He's been a troublemaker during the whole weekend. I mean, we didn't talk much about him, but we saw him very often on the screen, really close to be able to do some damage to the people ranked just above him. That's why he stands in that top 10 of that individual elite male division.
Yeah, currently ranked 9th. He's at 406 points, but he's been consistent all weekend long.
Rob, let's talk about a little bit of strategy here. The gentlemen who are just coming onto the field of play, they've been sitting in the back warm-up area for 36 minutes. What's the difficulty there of like trying to make sure that you stay warm but don't overdo it, but you're prepared when you're supposed to be?
That's a tricky one. I'm thinking of 2 different circumstances in my competitive career that it was really, really hard to kind of stay focused and warm. The first one and the most important one was at the 2010 games. They sequestered us in a room underneath the Home Depot Center, and they didn't tell us what the workout was, and then we had to wait while heats after heats went, and we were just sitting down in this room on a concrete floor waiting to go out. I think it was about an hour, and then when we finally got called out, Dave Castro announced the workout and then hit the buzzer, 3, 2, 1, go. So, I mean, literally, there was no warm-up, none whatsoever. And you had to do, if I remember it right, we had to climb up and over a wall using a rope. I mean, it was a gauntlet of a workout. The idea, from my perspective as a competitor, one of the things that I've always liked is that at the end of a 3-day competition, your body is already dialed in. You don't really need to warm up anymore, or at least for me, I don't feel like I need to go out and spend 20 minutes warming up. So it's not such a bad thing. Your body's kind of beaten and broken, and it's more like mentally, I'm just ready to go. Let me at it.
Et alors qu'on regarde Lucca Sparkle s'approcher de la barre à 120 kg, on parlait un petit peu de stratégie au niveau de l'échauffement. Certains athlètes sont dans l'attente depuis 36 minutes et ça passe. C'est même de mieux en mieux. Plus la charge est lourde, plus ça semble facile pour Lucca Sparkle. Mais en tout cas, avec la pratique, avec l'entraînement sur un event comme ça, Rob expliquait qu'il avait quasiment plus besoin de s'échauffer à la fin de sa carrière d'athlète. Il en est sans doute de même pour les tout meilleurs athlètes de cette division. Pendant les annonces des Open, on a fait la dernière annonce au sein du siège de Rogue en Belgique. On avait Jonakoski qui était avec nous, Lucas Esslinger, et j'étais surpris de voir qu'alors qu'ils ne connaissaient pas l'événement du jour, et bien écoutez, leur routine d'entraînement et d'échauffement était très très simple. We're speaking about the fact that you barely sometimes don't need to warm up before that kind of event, and I was speaking about like the last open announcement that we did in Belgium with Jonakoski and Lucas Esslinger, and despite the fact that they had no idea about what was going to be the workout, I was surprised to see their routine. Simple stuff, just like a few mobility drills, and that was it. Yep.
Yeah, like I said, for me personally, once we hit day 2 or 3 in a competition, you know, as soon as I break a sweat, I'll be ready to go. And maybe some of these athletes have a more rigid approach. But here, let's take a look at Lucca Sparkle with 125, the white t-shirt on the left side of the split screen.
And I love that when I see that the more the weight increases, the more the athlete is committed to move nice and fast.
Yeah, you can tell he pulls the weight up strong, huge, massive shrug of the shoulders, and throws his shoulders and heads back and dives underneath the bar to catch it with those arms completely locked out straight. And he just keeps getting faster with each rep.
We spoke about the Greek Georgios Karavis. Now on your screen, one of his compatriots, Alex Kotulas, that we've seen doing good this morning on the M10 walk, and also quite impressive yesterday on the thrust as well.
Just to give you a reference here, bottom left of your screen, Lucca Sparkle looking to make 130 kilos. He would be the second man to clear the whole thing if he could do it. Alex Evans was first.
Hey, this is an old school miss on that bar.
And I think he's going to run out of time. But that was a good 125 lift, just a barely missed 130.
Et Eliot Simmons, CrossFitias, qui fait son entrée sur le terrain. Rory, as we were speaking about warm-up routine, can you explain to us again what Eliot told you about the way he was warming up for that specific event?
I will, as soon as we have a word here with Lucca Sparkle. Lucas, close miss there, man. Were you surprised?
Yeah.
Huh? Were you surprised you missed it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a weight I can hit. But the ski makes a difference. Yeah.
The ski makes a difference. I know you're a planner. What was your plan coming in?
Just go sustainable. Like, there's no point sprinting the ski in under 20 seconds if that's just gonna use up your fuel that you need for the snatch. So I went a little slower on the last one and waited till the end later in the interval to try and snatch, thinking that would give me the best chance. But yeah, missed it.
That's okay. It was very close. Fun to watch. Now, you're the most veteran athlete here. It's been a much different year. How's the competition year been different for you? How did it play out?
The year overall?
Yeah, how's it affected you?
You got to sort of be on your toes a bit more. You got to be a competitive athlete all year, which is a bit different. I prefer to, or I'm more accustomed to planning for regionals and the games through the year. But now, I mean, you're going to be able to compete almost every weekend if you want in the 2020 season. So you got to be sort of competition ready a little bit more, or you got to really call your shot down the road like Fikowski did in China and just go to one and done.
Thanks, Lucas.
Et alors que là, on a récolté les mots de Lucca Sparkle qui expliquait les changements au niveau de son organisation dans la saison. Avant, il pouvait périodiser l'entraînement et c'est d'avoir juste de quoi être en forme pour les régionaux, ensuite les games. à la suite des Open. Aujourd'hui, maintenant, vous pouvez vous qualifier au CrossFit Games quasiment tous les week-ends. Ça change la donne. And now I think that we are also about to witness the interesting fights of that elite individual division as Mitchell Stevenson just came into the field.
Yeah, this is the battle that we've been waiting for, was to watch Mitchell Stevenson and Josh Miller go head-to-head, because Jonakoski and Willie George, they're both in great positions and they're already on their way to the games. So really the fight is between first and fourth, Josh and Mitchell, and Josh still hasn't even stepped out on the floor yet.
So Ellie, sorry about that. Let me get back to your question about Eliot Simmons. When I spoke to him, he was really still just trying to do the math, which is another challenge Rob can probably attest to, is trying to look at the timeline that they give you, translate it into English in this scenario, and and then make some decisions for yourself. It seems like the vibe here at the French Throwdown, and a lot of these guys have trained together or do train together consistently, so they seem to be helping each other out. Nobody's trying to maybe get an advantage by keeping secrets, so to speak. So they seem like they were working out a strategy together.
Ok, donc je vous explique, l'échauffement apparemment dans les backstage, ça se passe bien, les garçons se connaissent bien, ils rigolent, ils s'aident un petit peu à avoir des points de repère, expliquer quand est-ce que l'un ou l'autre va devoir passer. Il faut aussi qu'ils aident à faire des conversions parce que beaucoup d'entre eux utilisent des pounds et pas des kilos. Bref, des petits mots de tête et un petit peu d'anticipation, c'est tout ce dont ils ont besoin.
Jonakoski on platform 1, another veteran, also showing veteran moves, sitting down on the barbell just like Lucca Sparkle did. And at this point, friends, there's definitively cloud cover. We haven't had sun since you asked that question at the beginning of the last heat, Rob. It's actually cooling off. It's a pleasant temperature out here, so no longer a factor is the weather. It's just the men versus the barbells.
Ok, les gradins sont pleins, les hommes contre les barres, il n'y a plus qu'un seul athlète à rentrer sur le terrain et l'enfant chéri de l'Amérique pour cette édition du CrossFit French Throwdown 2019, Josh Miller, lui il est là, pour l'instant il est en tête du classement provisoire avec 650 points, il y tient à son invitation pour Madison, juste derrière lui Jonakoski. Et sur le fil, facile à reconnaître, t-shirt sans manches et casquette verte. Willie George va faire son entrée d'ici 1 minute. Et également Mitchell Stevenson, lui il a la coupe de cheveux de Ragnar. Donc si vous êtes chez vous, il est facile à observer. Eliot Stevenson, Josh Miller sont les deux à la bataille pour choper le ticket pour Madison.
Vous le connaissez celui-là? Mesdames et messieurs, Willie George!
Et vous voyez la foule accueillir Willie George comme il se doit, le champion national français qui ira représenter l'Hexagone au CrossFit Games à Madison d'ici 1 mois. Et maintenant tous les protagonistes sont sur le terrain. C'est dire le niveau, vous avez le meilleur français qualifié au CrossFit Games, vous avez le meilleur finlandais Jonakoski qualifié au CrossFit Games, Josh Miller en position pour récupérer cette invitation après avoir fait de nombreux sanctionnaux, et Mitchell Stevenson lui aussi qui ne veut pas se faire voler sa potentielle place comme ça lui est arrivé il y a 2 ans à l'issue du dernier WOD des régionaux. Eliot Simmons pretty easy and confident at 105.
Let's see if we can get this 115. Just missed it last time. It's going to have to dive a little bit quicker, catch low, and don't quite have enough to get those elbows locked out.
Oh, nice. Buzzer beater. So one thing that Eliot Simmons did tell me backstage was that about 120 is his personal best historically. So he's getting towards the upper end of his range.
Ok, 120 kg, c'est à peu près ça le record personnel d'Eliot Simmons. Donc lui aujourd'hui, il se lance dans une quête pour atteindre sa répétition max et pourquoi pas la battre dans la situation de la compétition. Le coach Ray Glassman, il a pu l'écrire par le passé, les gens pourraient mourir pour des points, people could die for points. So maybe it's going to be a good motivation source for Eliot Simmons to hit that PB or maybe get a new one.
If we take a look at our screen right here, in the bottom left, Mitchell Stevenson at station number 5. And there's Willie George making easy work of 90K. And there's Mitchell Stevenson at 105.
That seemed like a lack of concentration. He's got that weight.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to, yeah, there you go. Step in, get your second rep. Good call, Ro. That was perfect.
Ça c'est bon, un peu de concentration et ça passe pour Mitchell Stevenson. Une nouvelle fois, coupe de cheveux de Viking pour vous qui êtes chez vous. Alors que vous voyez de votre écran Alex Tokula qui lui ne passera pas plus loin. Et maintenant, si on parle un peu de statistiques pour savoir aussi qui a ses chances de l'emporter, Josh Miller, il annonce 120 kg en charge max sur le snatch. Donc a priori, mais on peut avoir des surprises, peu de chances d'être capable de finir ce ladder. Jonakowski, sensiblement les mêmes statistiques, 125 kg il me semble. Et lui, il a besoin de battre le français car ils sont coude à coude en termes de points. Et Willie George, lui, son record personnel, 135 kg établi pendant les Dubai Championship. We said before that the stats that we have don't really mean anything because you don't only need to be good in your home gym, you need to be good on the field. The best performance in the snatch for Willie George is 135 kg on the bar, and he did that at the very beginning of the season in Dubai at the Dubai Fitness Championship.
Yeah, Eliot Simmons is approaching that bar, guys, and this was, remember, towards his personal best.
You just watched Mitchell Stevens, the top of your screen right there. Eliot Simmons is going to stand that up. That was a great looking rep. We got a good profile shot. He was absolutely vertical at the bottom of that squat. You can't get more mobile than that. What a great lift.
All right, so Stevenson out, or Stevenson, pardon me, still working. Josh has eyes on him.
Elle était belle cette rep d'Eliot Simmons. C'est proche de son record personnel. Maintenant, il a intérêt à tabasser le skieur au cas où il rate la barre un petit peu plus lourde de manière à s'assurer d'avoir un bon tie break.
So I caught up with Josh Miller earlier in the warm-up area. He said he had a little bit of a twinge kind of in the calf area, and you can see that he's got it taped up very well right now. So showing some signs of humanity, but every time that he goes for his lift, he looks down to see what Mitchell Stevenson is doing.
And Josh, bottom of your screen, dressed in all black, just nailed that lift. 120K for Eliot Simmons. That looked like it hurt.
Stevenson misses his first at 115. He'll go back for more.
I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I think he's going to be short on time, but
yep, he's going to be out of time.
That also shows like the margin for improvement because like still went under that bar, was pretty close maybe to be able to catch it from a solid position.
Did you guys get a look at Mitchell Stevenson Bruce Leeing himself up off the ground?
Yeah, it's like he hasn't done a single workout this weekend.
Still fresh. So guys, have a look at Josh, not just what he does, but how he's moving. He looks like he's really treating that left leg gingerly. It's late in the competition. Be a shame if something like that were to ruin his chances of getting to the CrossFit Games, and let's hope that it's just a twinge and nothing else.
Let's see Josh try to tackle this 110 bar. I saw his last lift look real good. Jonakowski here, setting up for 115. Easy make at 115.
Belle répétition à 115 kg pour Jonakowski. Et maintenant, Josh Miller, lui, il faut qu'il l'attrape cette barre à 110 kg.
Oh, Miller goes for chalk. There's not time, my friend.
Il y a peut-être une erreur d'avoir pris de la magnésie. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de temps.
No, it's not quite there. And you can see he's really ginger on that left leg.
Et il a l'air d'avoir mal, Josh Miller, au niveau de son mollet gauche.
I'm going to go catch up with Josh for you guys.
Et c'est important pour Rory peut-être d'aller discuter avec Josh Miller parce que c'est une première bataille. Hey Rory, can you tell us more about that injury that he has on his leg?
Josh, I noticed you moving kind of gingerly. What's going on?
I'm good. I kind of felt a little bit on the pistols on this left leg. I've been dealing with a right knee. I tweaked it about a week and a half ago. So I was just fortunate enough to come in here and be able to squat and without any pain, but I can feel it with a couple of the bars there. The last 2 bars, I can feel my knee kind of cave in just a little bit, but overall, I'm feeling good, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
We got one more to go. I know that you know if you're in a race for that ticket to the games. Considering what's going on, where's your confidence level at right now?
Man, I'm excited. I know the last one, like I want to win it. So I knew this one probably wouldn't be the best one for me, but I'm looking forward to a strong push in the next workout. And yeah, I'm just wanting to glorify the Lord in this. You know that.
Thanks, Josh.
And Ro, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, like, something amazing happened on the screen. Like, Jonakowski hasn't been able to do successfully that lift at 120 kg. So now, for Willie, if he wants to make points, he has to do 2 things. First thing first, he had to try to do everything he can to make it secure the fact that he's going to be able to beat Yona. To do so, he needs to hit very hard the ski erg if he gets to that bar at 120 kg, even at 115 kg. And second thing, if he's able to do above that weight, then it's going to be a very good operation for him.
There is no doubt about whether or not the crowd is behind this athlete. So the last man standing currently on the field of play, the French national champion.
Et c'est parti, Willy. Il est seul dans son jardin à nouveau, il est à la maison. Regardez son regard, il sait ce qu'il a à faire. Il vient de passer la barre à 115 kg. C'est la dernière barre qu'a réussi à toucher Jonakowski. Ils sont à égalité pour l'instant au classement général avec 634 points. Josh Miller a mal performé. C'est peut-être l'occasion pour Will de récupérer le lead de la compétition. Pour ce faire, il lui reste encore la barre à 120, à 125 kg, puis à 130 kg à réussir. Le tout en tirant plus fort sur le ski erg que Alex Evans et le second athlète qui a également réussi à compléter ce ladder.
I'm not sure if it's clear what's happening from the booth, guys, but what's happened is the volunteers and judges who are not currently working have surrounded Willie George. So not only will he have the crowd behind him, he'll have even more of his countrymen and women on the field of play trying to help him hoist this barbell.
Yeah, we can see them sitting right behind him, and they all kind of shuffled into place as he stepped into lane 7 there.
Effectivement, il faut quand même faire attention. On va voir s'il peut se concentrer, Willy. Pour ceux qui font de l'haltéro, avoir quelqu'un en face de soi, c'est pas toujours la meilleure des choses. To have someone standing in front of you when you are lifting those heavy weights, it can be disturbing. But let's see if Willy is a man of focus. So far, so good.
Rock solid on that, and you could see the confidence as he caught it. There was no waver whatsoever. Just caught it, arms completely locked, stands it up, moves along, business as usual.
Ça repart avant-dernière barre de ce ladder. Willy George vient déjà de reprendre la 2e place du classement général. Potentiellement la première. Pour ça, il faudra aller voir le leaderboard sur notre site internet www.frenchredon.com. C'est là que vous retrouverez toutes les infos, les classements, les liens vers les lives. Mais rejoignez-nous, il est encore temps. Nous sommes au Vélodrome de Saint-Quentin en Yvelines, à proximité de Paris. 3e et dernier jour de compétition du CrossFit French Redon 2019.
And here we are. Willie steps up to 125. This is 275 pounds.
Okay, and it's a miss. Is he going to have enough time to do a second attempt?
The crowd's going to try to get him to do it. He still has time. He's going to have to move quickly. And he's out of time.
He's still smiling. That's what really matters.
I'll tell you guys what, though. I think this is a smart move, too, and it might just be not gamesmanship, but Jonakowski left the field of play, and this is unconfirmed, but he was holding on to his left elbow. We are very close to the CrossFit Games. If this is a test weekend for you, I get that, and that's fantastic. However, if you injure yourself in the process, or you at least even just enter the games banged up and not ready to rock, I don't know if it's worth it.
I agree. We actually did see that. He was looking at his left elbow on the bar before the last attempt. So it looked like he was going to try to bow out and not go to the next bar up. But I was surprised to see him grab that last bar.
Et en tout cas, il avait la foule derrière lui, Willy, et d'après Rory, c'est peut-être un choix assez judicieux de ne pas avoir cherché à pousser trop pour tenter de faire plaisir à la foule et faire cette dernière barre. Se blesser avant la compétition, c'est pas l'idée du siècle. And look at that, you know, like he's always ready to play and be smiling, flash a little photo, little selfie to please the crowd and the fans. That's who he is, a pretty grounded boy, that Willy George.
And just in time, friends, I'm pretty sure that I just felt a raindrop as we come inside.
Et apparemment, Dieu est de notre côté, du moins le Dieu de la météo, puisque à peine les garçons sont en train de quitter le terrain que Rory lui a senti une petite goutte d'eau lui tomber dessus. Un changement de météo, eh bien ça tombe bien, puisque la prochaine épreuve, elle aura lieu à l'intérieur de l'enceinte du vélodrome. Et tout ce que vous aurez besoin de faire, c'est de revenir soit au vélodrome directement, soit vous connecter devant votre écran. On se retrouvera d'ici une bonne heure pour l'event final de la compétition. We're gonna find each other in just 1 hour for the end of the competition.